the one, it's the only
I
ImPERium!
can't hear anybody.
And Sean Austino!
Need to change sound settings.
It's the one and the...
Greetings, pilots. Greetings, pilots. We know you want to show off your dogfighting skills in style, and ultimately each and every Armajet pilot deserves to stand out during their quest for Doomslayer kill streaks. To make sure you understand all the incredible pilot, flight suit, and jet trail options that go with your collection of unique weapon mods, let's take a deep dive into the all-new Armory V2. You'll notice that weapon loadout selection has been refined to give you an overview about each weapon's mod progression. Your unlocked weapon arsenal is also available on the right and remembers your last weapon mod selection. Preview your armory as you scroll and equip weapons to your selected loadout. By popular demand, the ability to zoom into each primary, secondary, and ultimate and rotate it in 360 degrees is now available. This is perfect for all Armajet content creators wanting to show off their newest unlocks in weapon highlight videos. Now to the fun part, pilot customization. We're happy to introduce Kruger and Anna, the humanoids, and 1337, the deadly AI, as your standard available pilot selections. Of course, each of these three pilots have their own unique unlockable flight suits, and each flight suit has a variety of unlockable pilot skins, making their appearance in the arena truly one of a kind. Furthermore, a selection of distinct jet trails finish off the look of your pilot. From jetpack money trails to rainbows, and even music notes to help serenade the sad tears of your enemies. All of these options plus your weapon mods give you the ability to stand out after a firefight. Stay tuned for even more pilot customizations coming soon from Super Bit Machine.
Yo, what is up? Yo, Penguin, yeah, this is my show. This is my show, Penguin. Penguin, this is my show. What is up, everybody? Are you ready for today's KEK YEEtournament coming to you today on this Saturday, coming on through. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. My Penguin right here, my Penguin buddy. That's right. We got some high class, high intensity stream coming to you guys today. We got prizes. That's right, I said prizes. Can I get prizes? Yes, I can. We got prizes. We got 50 euros. Oh, wait, hold on. Something coming in. So, no, not 50 euros, not 50. 65 euros for the prizes. In case you're wondering what's the US dollars, that is $73.99 US dollars coming to you guys, along with 2,000 Paragon. So first place is getting 35 euros. That's $39.84 US dollars and 1,000 Paragon. Second place, 20 euros, $22.76 US dollars and 600 Paragon. Then we got third place. That's right, third place coming through with 10 euros, $1138.99 US dollars and 400 Paragon coming to you guys on the stream today. So we got some prerequisites, guys, right? We got some prerequisites. Skill level got to be 20 or above. Joining in on this tournament. And 2 players, 2 teams. 1 EU, 1 NA. To bound it up together, fighting it out in this KEK YEEtournament. The format, guys, we got a format for you coming through. It's team deathmatch mode. Matches are 2v2. Best of 3. That's 2. Best of 3. Best of 3. And then tomorrow, the semifinals and the finals, it's going to be best of 5. The brackets are randomly generated. The map pool will be Moon, Magnum, Temple, and Cannon. So we got BigKingL and Roarrocket coming through, bringing you guys some analytics for today's KEK YEEtournament coming to you guys. What is up, Big King? What is up, Rockets? What is going on, my dudes?
What is going on? How are you doing, Penguins? How you doing?
We are good, man.
Yo, I'm doing good, boys. Me and Penguin right here, doing good. How you guys doing? Enjoying your Saturday?
Great. All right, so we have some stuff we want to talk about. Are you guys hyped? We are. So the first thing we just wanted to point out is some strategies for today.
Yeah. So 2v2 is actually wildly different than 4v4s. Just to start it all off, double damage is infinitely more valuable in 2s than 4s. So power-up control is going to be extremely vital to the success of the team. And double damage will most likely also be given to the backline players if possible.
Yeah, we're going to watch out for today when players with Tusk or Tremor or Thunderstorm leave the double damage for someone with a Long Claw if it's available. So we're going to watch out for that. I think people will do it. Flexibility is also really key in this tournament due to the fact that there are weapon bans. Players, a lot of them tend to either one trick or are overly good at a single weapon. We're going to watch how they do when they have to play off that weapon, whether that be Tusk or Long Claw.
Yeah. Also, when it comes to compositioning, I think due to the weapon bans, we'll also see more weapons like Badger and Tremor. But I feel like if people aren't picked correctly, something like that will most likely cause detriment to the team. With Thunderstorm and Dominion also being very possible options to shut down more of the backline players. And even then, those sort of Thunderstorm and Dominion players are definitely going to suffer against more coordinated teams.
And of course, we'll see if any other crazy off-meta picks. Who knows? We know some people are full, like the Venom a lot, so we'll see if he decides to pull that out today. I don't see it working that well, but we shall see what he tries.
Yeah, but we also want to talk about who are the teams to beat and who are more underdog picks that we've talked about. And I think that today and during this tournament as a whole, Elsif and Devoted, Team Christmas are definitely going to be the team to beat.
Yeah, we have seen them in the past. They both are on the Hammers team, who came first in Scorpia a couple weeks back and first in APL. So they're both amazing players, arguably the best EU and arguably the best NA player in the world right now. So they're the top dogs. We'll see if anyone takes them off. We also thought about full and bad. They have arguably the easiest bracket today, so we want to see how they come off in order to potentially get the bye into this next round.
Yeah, and on top of everything, I just want to point out our personal underdog pick. Roar and I both decided on this as a whole, and I actually really want to see Archer and Rate pull out some sort of a win in their bracket, as we believe that they're probably the biggest underdog and possibly the most underrated team in the entire tournament.
Yeah, Archer is one of the best EU players. He's came second to Scorpia, did really well in APL, and Rate is the really unknown factor. If Rate plays well today, he could really shoot Archer and him into the top 2 teams in this tournament.
Yeah. And I honestly think that this tournament as a whole is going to be wildly entertaining, and I think that we're going to see a lot of good matches. But these are our opinions. Let us know yours, and I think that's all for us.
Yeah, send it back to you guys. Enjoy.
Yo, BigKingL, Rocket, thank you so much for coming through. There it is, guys. There's the analytics. There's what the game in the tourney is going to be about today. And we got your casters today. We got the gorgeous, we got the one, the only, the pizza tosser, ImPERium. And then we got the gorgeous skin complex, Austino, coming to you guys on today's KEK versus YEEtournament, coming out to you guys today.
KillerPenguin, hey, I'm not just a pizza tosser, man. I'll do any kind of tossing you want, my good buddy. I'll do salad tossing. I'll do sausage tossing. Whatever you want to put it, I'll toss it, baby. With Austino, it's an absolute pleasure to be casting another amazing Armajet tournament with you, my good friend.
That's right, ImPERium. This one's going to be fun. Thanks so much for the killer intros and the analyst desk stuff from KillerPenguin, Roarrocket, and BigKingL. It's always nice to get more people to be working with us on these tournaments. And this is going to be a good one because we haven't experienced a 2v2 tournament yet. We've seen the typical 4v4, which is the max you can have on each team. So having 2v2 is a different dynamic. I like how the analyst team broke it down, and they talked about how the backline carries are going to be grabbing that double damage so that they will have to be protected. They're going to have to really think about a lot of damage rotation among like who's going to be, once someone gets a lot of damage, they're going to have someone rotate to the front to increase the health of the team to make sure that it's not a 2v1 situation. Whenever someone gets killed, it's only a few seconds that it takes for them to respawn. But then again, that few seconds, someone could easily die, and they could give a good trade to the other team.
Yeah, exactly, and I love like watching the different dynamics between 2v2 and 4v4, and especially how that kind of works and affects how the players play. But one new aspect that is involved in this tournament is the banning of guns, or of a particular gun set, or a particular loadout, and this is something that it was touched upon by the analysts in terms of it means that realistically these players are gonna either be playing really outside their comfort zone of the loadout that they have, or they're just really gonna have to be trained in all areas of the loadouts. Sean, what do you think is going to be the target loadouts that are going to be banned or focused on being taken away?
Well, there's a lot of people play the Black Tusk very often. Of course, that's one of the standard weapons that you come in there with. I don't know if that would be banned, but hey, why not try banning it, But there are other weapons out there that don't get used very often that could be a target ban. We just had the analyst desk discussing the Venom is available. Well, I know that the Wildfire is available too for a lot of those high-level players, high-ranked players. We also have... you guys can't find me in game. Okay. Am I supposed to be on the EU server or something, or can...
No, it doesn't really matter what server. It doesn't matter. My good buddy.
Sorry. Sean Austino. All lowercase, guys. Sean Austino.
Can we send a search party for Sean Austino, please, everybody? Can we get a search party for Sean Austino out there, please? It's an emergency. He's very much needed. Maybe call his wife, his mother. Just try and get the information we need to find Sean Austino. Thank you very much. But anyway,
I hope they find me soon. I'm on Moonbase, guys. Come find me on the Moonbase and send a rocket ship for me.
So.
But yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? We were talking about Rocket Man. Yes. We were talking about the weapon bans. Are we in the game yet? Are you in the game?
I'm in the game. I don't know where you're going. Like,
what's going on with me? Maybe I just need to join. Oh, I could just join you guys. We'll work around. Hello.
Where there's a will, there's a way, Sean.
Yeah, I'm in here.
There's a way.
Or
where there's a will, there's a dead person. But anyway, that's getting dark real quick.
Let's talk about 2v2, and not only so we've discussed the weapon bans that are going to be taking place in this tournament. We've discussed and I don't even know what the weapon bans are going to be for this particular match. Are they going to be match to match, or are they going to be across the whole series for each of these teams? And by the way, it's for the series. Okay, so we're going to have Sentry Claws going up against Nightmare Before Christmas in this first match.
By the way, I absolutely love the fun Christmas-themed team names. Sentry Claws, Nightmare Before Christmas. Well, Nightfall Before Christmas is okay, but I love Sentry Claws. That's a very nice play on words. And look, let's talk about these two teams that are coming up against each other. Sean Austino, obviously we have an EU and NA players coming together to form a team. Over on the side of Sentry Claws, we have Delash and MGL Freaky. Delash is EU, who is the KEK team captain, pretty active in the Armajet community, and continuously aims to improve. Damn straight he'd want to continuously aim to improve, no joke. And then we have MGL Freaky, who's pretty new to the game, and he actually got to level 20 to qualify for the tournament. So, in terms of Sentry Claws, you have a very experienced Armajet player, and you have a relatively new Armajet player. How do you think that's gonna kind of the dynamic of that, Sean?
Oh, well, I definitely think the dynamic's gonna be the stronger, experienced player is gonna be probably taking the cake in a lot of these fights here. These 2v2s, 2v1s, positioning is what's really important here. And that's what I was actually going to mention. In a 2v2 on this map, on any of the maps, there's a lot more real estate there for you to be running around and not encountering anybody. So you have a lot more surprise factor. You could be coming out of nowhere. Last night, me and Python were actually playing in a private match with the Armajet account. And when you have 3 players on these maps, as opposed to 8, you cannot find each other. You can easily hide. You can be on one extreme of the map, far on the left side, far on the right side, and you won't be able to find someone for quite a while. If you really think about it, it takes a while, like a good 10 to 15 seconds to go run all the way across this map in some instances, especially if you don't have your boost available to you.
Does that mean we're going to see, compared to the 4v4, do you think that we're going to see a slower paced game, and games that are more likely going to go the full 4 minutes as opposed to the 40-point maximum?
Yes, yeah, I absolutely think so, because the 40 kill maximum is it usually ends up racking up pretty quickly. We have a lot of players who are very experienced who get themselves close to 20 kills sometimes. Now, of course, when there's less people around, there's less propensity for them to be getting kill after kill after kill, getting grindhouse, for example. You're not going to be able to do that here when there's only 2 other bodies on the enemy team.
Okay, and then let's talk about the team that they are going up against, which is Nightfall Before Christmas. You have Bad, who's based in EU, is a Skyros team captain and formerly with Demise, and he placed second in the Scorpius Crossfire tourney. So he's very experienced, knows the mentality needed for a tournament level. And then you have with him, you have Full. He's a Skyros team member and formerly with Nova Esports. So these two guys, these two people are in the same team together. So do you think that automatically gives them some form of a synergistic advantage against Sentry Claws, Sean?
I don't know about that. I definitely think that Full, who was the former top #1 player in Armajet, he's always in the top 100. I know he's an excellent player. I played against him last night, and he wrecked me on stream over and over again. He's got himself that Wildfire I know available to him. I'm wondering if they're going to have it banned. He also has the Venom available as well, which is the poison gun. So I don't necessarily know if there's going to be a synergy between the two, but I like how we've made the tournament fair here in the KEK tournament, and we have EU and NA joined up together on each team, so that we won't have to swap servers.
Just like the casters, man. We're EU,
yeah.
you know.
And there's you know what's best for us is there's no lag.
I know, right? It feels good, man. It feels good. So we have two teams, and by the way, on a side note, we're just waiting on the last member of Sentry Claws, MGL Freaky. I'm sorry, I apologize, guys. We don't know where he is, and maybe he's just being a little bit freaky somewhere else and got preoccupied getting freaky. Take that however you want to, boys and girls. But
he might be in Canyon, and we're on Moonbase, so we've got to go back down and find him.
Talking about Canyon and Moonbase, Sean, let's talk about the maps that we're going to be playing on today and within the tournament. What do the different maps bring in terms of playstyle, experience, loadouts? What is that going to change?
Well, are we going to be playing all the maps today, or are we just going to be playing certain maps?
I'm not going to lie, I kind of forget what the map loadouts are going to be. Feels bad, man, but you're meant to know that. You're the analysis. I'm just here to make things sound exciting, man.
I don't know if we're going to be playing certain maps today, but I can tell you that map loadouts are different, and there's going to be different positioning. Though overall, there is double damage on every map. If we're going to be playing here on Moonbase, it has both the double damage. We are going to be playing here on Moonbase, so this has both the double damage and the invis right there in the middle, in the mid lane and the bot. In the mid lane and the bot lane, yes. So it's pretty, because these are positioned pretty close to each other, and there's the mid lane is kind of small in that platform there. It's a lot easier for someone to grab both the invis and the double damage. However, you may not necessarily want to do that. Like, sure, it is great to have the double damage on the invis guy because it's going to be harder to see him, but at the same time, if he gets taken out, so does the invis, and then you're not going to have the invis. However, conversely, it's always best to take both if you need to, if you're only there by yourself, because that way at least you deny it to the enemy team.
Okay. That's definitely going to be interesting. I personally love the Moonbase map. Myself personally, because there's a certain, room to breathe, especially when it's 2v2 for sure, like you did highlight. But I think generally, even when it's 4v4, you can kind of think a little bit before you, let's say, do something. Whereas in other maps, there's a certain level of franticness of kind of you respawn and you're kind of instantly in the thick of the action. Whereas I feel on this Moonbase map, you get slightly better, room to breathe, room to think about what you want to do. And when we talk about having somebody in the back line and somebody in the front line, how close will the players want to stick together? So when you're talking about front line, should they be like really far away from the other player, or what do you think the kind of positioning is going to be?
That's an interesting point that the analysts actually make, having the backline and the front line, which is something we typically see in MOBAs, having the tank absorbing a lot of the damage, and if they need to, they rotate back. Then you have the whoever has more health remaining, come up to the front. I think it's a little bit different here in the 2.5D third-person shooter platformer that we have here in Armajet, where everybody's got the stock same health. The only thing that is going to change is if someone has shields. If you have shields, you're adding an additional 50 HP points onto you. You have 100 HP for your pilot, so everybody's got a maximum of 150, and you're going to have 100. So if you do end up getting shields, of course that's going to be the tank. That's going to be the guy who's going to be there in front. However, it's always best, I feel, when you're playing in 4v4 or 2v2, either way, it's going to behoove you to be on one lane and your ally is on the other lane, because that way you're going to be able to have a good line of fire into multiple lanes to be able to take out more targets. It's going to increase your damage output doing that. So I feel like staying in one lane, it's a lot tougher for you to have the damage go into that lane. Sure, you can fill the lane with a lot more damage, but you can't shoot through your allies because they'll be blocking your shot. So you might as well be in another lane.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Definitely see how that does play out. On a side note, guys, we're just waiting on confirmation as to what will be the situation and kind of the official kind
ruling.
of the official decision, ruling, so to speak, as far as where we're gonna go from here. Fortunately, MGL Freaky, who is partnered with Delish. By the way, on a side note, Delish, I hope I'm saying your name right. Or if it, feel free to let me know if it's meant to be pronounced a different way. I might not listen, Kappa, but no. Honestly, tell me if I'm saying it the right way, because I always want to make sure I'm saying it right. Yeah, so MGL Freaky, who's a partner with Delish, he hasn't seemed to showed up as of yet. Boys and girls, like I said, I don't know what the time frame is, any kind of official announcement. I know TP has looked to get the next set of teams ready, but of course we go by a schedule. The schedule should always hope to be played in due time, and kind of on course, but
players are responsible for their own connections.
Players are responsible for their own connections, their own showing up on time, etc. So, while
we're waiting, I did want to discuss what the maps are and what the bans are. Actually, we do have a document available. Thank you guys for sharing it with us from the admin team. For Sentry Claws, they chose to play on Moon and Snow Base, and for Nightfall Before Christmas, they chose to play on Magma and Temple. Bans by both the teams, and this is very interesting now, are both Black Tusks, which I totally saw that coming, because it is the most highly used weapon in the game. It's got one of the highest rates of fire, right? It does the most damage. For the rate of fire, I feel like it does the most damage output, which is 12 damage per round. And sure, the magazine's not very big, but everybody is most comfortable with it because that's the first weapon you start with. Like you either start with that, the Tremor, or the Long Claw. And the Black Tusk is the most versatile weapon with one of the longest ranges for the rate of fire that it has. So banning it is clearly the best thing to do.
Okay. On a side note, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm a little bit confused as far as the map selection, because we've got 2 maps on each team. Which maps are played, if that makes sense?
That's a pretty good point. I feel like we're going to be going back and forth.
Magma,
so we're doing Moon
best
now.
Of 3, right?
Yeah, it is a best of 3. So I feel like we're well. I guess you know what? I see where it's going. They chose 4 maps just in case there's a draw.
Ooh, my lord!
Oh.
You know what, Sean? As my granny used to say, if you had brains, you'd be dangerous. You know that? No, that's actually.
Well, my granny used to say, "How long is a piece of string?"
Oh, that's I like that one. Anyway, back in my day. Anyway, so yeah, no, that's actually a good point. So. both teams have banned Black Tusk, a really popular weapon. I think that's really going to make some really interesting loadouts. It's going to make for some unique gameplay. Hopefully, that's if we get to that point. Unfortunately, we might have to maybe possibly make a final decision if that's possible. TP to kind of get a certain level of ruling of what the situation is going to be. But while we're waiting, Sean, why don't you just tell myself, the good folks that could be watching Armajet, or therefore lack of Armajet, for the first time, or since the last update, because like I said, I haven't played the game much, and since last time casting, the game is constantly evolving and improving. So tell me, what's changed other than three-way fisting?
It's so much has changed in this game, actually. And what's actually great about it is that it makes it more fun. And I know that, like, it's just skins, but that's the big draw of this game right now. We have got some amazing skins in this game, and that's what came with this update. We've been asking for it in the Armajet community for a long time. Super Bit Machine finally delivered it. And you go to your loadouts, that's where you're able to change your pilot now. Before, it always showed that, pilots are coming soon. Pilots and skins are coming soon. Well, you know what? Now you've got 3 different pilots to choose from. You've got yourself the Kruger, which was the main pilot, the main guy that we used to have. You've got Anna, which is the female pilot. You also have 1337, which is the neutered robot pilot. And within each of these, with the Kruger, you've got yourself 4 skins, 4 subtypes of the Kruger skin. You've got the Patriot, you've got yourself the Jackal, you've got the Photon, which is my personal favorite, and you have the Apache, which is kind of like the old school Armajet pilot that you can have. Now, with me, within each of those, you still have subsets of skins. So not only do you have the form, but then you have different colors. And for my favorite, it's the Kruger, and the Kruger with the turquoise, and I also have the red dot as well, which look pretty awesome. The red dot kind of looks like, actually, it just came to me. It's like a Japan theme. So he's very like samurai style. And then Photon, he's a little bit more subtle looking. He's kind of like got some gold trim with blue overall on his body. So pretty neat. But overall, what I like to play the most is Anna. And with the Anna skin, my favorite is the Ghost, which is the only skin that has the skull that's kind of like fading electronically in and out in the middle of the visor for the pilot. And it's pretty damn neat. I like the magenta fade. I like the Payne's gray. But let's not just talk about skins the whole time. Let's talk about weapons. And there's been some changes to the weapons because there are a lot of people who are ranked up now. There are a lot of weapons that are available. There's, of course, the Venom and Wildfire. Those are big guns. The Lycan is available for people to grab. I've seen the... what's the other one? I've seen the Locust as well being used in the game by some of the other players. And not only that, but there's been changes to the balance of the weapons too. So the Enforcer has gotten a bit of a nerf. It used to be 75 damage. It's down to 65 damage now. So you can't quite do the combo with it to pretty much 2-shot people with that and the Long Claw from a big distance. So if you want to really get people with the Enforcer, I feel like you've got to lead with the Enforcer. This is what I typically do. I lead with the Enforcer, and then I come in with the Thunderstorm or the Black Tusk, and I finish people off that way.
Okay. That's kind of interesting. I love the little like weapon, the kind of balance adjustments, and I think that's going to make for just some maybe a bit more exciting gameplay and fairer gameplay, I suppose you could say, Sean. I do want to touch back on the pilot and the skins part, because it's funny because I went on today like after making sure I had an update and all that jazz, and the first thing I did was actually I spent some in-game currency on one of the new pilots and one of the new skins, and I loved it. Like, they look so beautiful and glorious. They really stand out. Like,
Oh yeah, it's like the graphics are like to the moon. They're so freaking good. They're so beautiful.
Uh, Sean, are you in this?
Not yet. I'm gonna
See,
join right now.
yeah, it's like I didn't even realize this is starting. My humble apologies, guys.
Yeah. Where are you? You know what? I went to the wrong one. Back out.
Okay.
I'm going to Snow Base. I'll meet you guys there.
Yeah.
Coming in.
So yeah. So this is gonna be.
We're
next,
in the game already, guys. We were talking for too long. Okay.
So because I can't. I'm just in the kind of the spectator mode, so I can't really see the scores, which is.
I can't see the score, but I have Twitch open as well, so I can see the score. We're at 3 minutes remaining in the match. It says best of 5, but this is a best of 3. It's Frosty's Revenge versus Oddly Poetic Christmas right now, and the current score looks to be 2-5 at the moment. 2 for the blue team, which is featuring Oddsfish and Poetic Neko. Frosty's Revenge.
Yeah, but it's now 6-5 to Oddly. No, sorry, to my apologies, Frosty's Revenge. With 2 minutes to go, we do see that Oddfish is going in there. You see that Knuckle Block and Royal Havoc were kind of hovering over the center area, waiting for the double damage to spawn up, but now we do see that Oddly Poetic Christmas have managed to kind of hang around there waiting for it. Oh, Royal Havoc gets a kill onto Poetic Nico, so it is looking over. You know what, Sean? I'm going to call the action. You keep an eye on the total score, so at least you can give that kind of information.
Absolutely.
You see that Knuckle, but see, it's a team effort, boys and girls. It's a goddamn beautiful team effort between casters, teams, organizers. It's all good fun within the Armajet community. What is the score looking at so far, Sean?
7-13 right now for Frost. Looks like it's for Frosty's Revenge for blue team. 7-14 right now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's looking pretty good for Bravo team right now in the red, and Royal Havoc and Nodder Block. They've got themselves 9 and 6 kills apiece right now, respectively, with only 3 deaths. Let's also mention that some of the bans we've got. We actually have the Long Claw banned by Frosty's Revenge, and Oddly Poetic Christmas has banned the Badger. So they don't want any of that explosive grenade action to be happening.
Okay, and what kind of gun suits this map then, or what would be advisable, Sean?
Well, the Badger would be advisable here because we've got really tight quarters in the middle of the snow base. Like if you're going to be going and getting the in the bot lane, you're going to be focusing on getting that double damage. There's no invis here, so that's the place to go. It's going to be respawning pretty soon, actually, and Royal Havoc is taking a look at it, but it looks like it actually got picked up by Oddsfish.
Yeah, Oddsfish, but we do see from behind, Knuckleblock came in and absolutely exploded Poetic Nico, and that meant Royal Havoc is able to get the best of Oddsfish. They pick up the double damage. Boom! He's on a killing spree. Gets the killer blow onto Poetic Nico. This is even more of a lead. 3 seconds to go, 2 seconds to go, 1 second to go. The round is over, and it goes over to Frosty's Revenge in this first game in the best of 3, Sean. Again, apologies, guys. Didn't quite realize that it was going so quickly into the next game. Didn't quite have that information, but we are into the KEK Yeet tournament day 1. Armajet action going on. My name is ImPERium, joined in the casting desk by the one and only Sean Austino. The first game we had was an unfortunate little blowout because it was Sentry Claws against a Nightfall before Christmas, but unfortunately the second member of Sentry Claws didn't seem to show up. Therefore, Nightfall before Christmas, as far as now, do go through. And then overall, and then we are into the game between Frosty's Revenge and Oddly Poetic Christmas. Frosty's Revenge just took game 1, and we are into the next map, which is Temple. Sean.
Yes, ImPERium. Is that my cue, good buddy? Yeah, we see. This is exactly
Always
what we were.
baby.
This is exactly what we were talking about, actually, because we had half the amount of players on the map. We got half the amount of kills. We didn't get to the 40. We went the whole 4 minutes of the match, and we had 22 to 13. So there's less people on the map. There's less people to kill, and that's what results in it, which is cool because we get a different dynamic in these 2v2 matches than we do in the 4v4. So I'm glad to see it. We've got we saw, let's see, it was Royal Havoc and Anotherbock who took it, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It's okay. You'll remember, Sean. It's okay. You'll get there, buddy.
Yeah. So they won last game. So it's Oddsfish and Poetic Neko have got themselves a bit of a pickle right here. It's a best of 3 match. They have their back up against the wall. So they're going to have to pull out a win in this one to take it to a game 3. They've got to play smarter. On this match, we actually have, the bans are still in effect. So with these bans, Frosty's Revenge banning the Long Claw, that means that Oddly Poetic Christmas cannot use the Long Claw. Badger is banned. Badger is not necessarily very useful on this map, I feel, because it's very open here for Temple. Long Claw would be... Long Claw is very useful on this map because it's very... Even though it's very wide open, you can hide in a lot of different positions around the map and have very good eyes and sniping positions onto the double damage and onto the invis, which is up in the top lane.
And we are getting into this second game, best of 3 series between Frosty's Revenge and Oddly Poetic Jungler. So we do see, and Poetic Nico is, we are playing this indeed, Poetic Nico. We are playing it, my good buddy. You are in the thick of the action. Right, maybe they don't even seem to know that the game has started, but guys, what is going on? They don't seem to be killing each other? What?
They're just hanging out.
Am I confused? What's...
They're doing what they need to do.
It actually is meant to be the moon base, in fairness.
It is, that's right. You know what? Yeah, it's meant to be moon base. Very true. So we were going to Temple, but we should have went to moon base, I think, because we're supposed to be switching off between the selections. Did everybody leave? Everybody left. I'm in the game all by myself.
All by myself. Don't wanna be. Anyway, it's okay. You always have your right hand, Sean. And 4 minutes. That's all you need, baby. That is all you need, Sean. Your right hand and 4 minutes,
this
man.
Guy.
I know, right? Feels good, man.
I need both my hands to meditate, actually.
If you hadn't said meditate, I would have been like, whoa there, buddy. Like, I'm glad you finished that with the word meditate.
Bingo.
Unless that's what all the cool kids are calling it nowadays, because hey, like, I'm down for meditating if that's the case, PG stream, guys. PG stream. Gotta think of the kids. Got to think about the kids. Anyway,
let's talk about some of the other changes while we're waiting to get into this game number 2 of the second series here. Another one of the changes is if you guys are itching to get into the top 100 of Armajet, if you consider yourself that good of a player, if you have it in you to grind and get to the top, you can win yourself some Paragon just for being in the top 100, at least 250 Paragon and much higher amounts of Paragon. If you are in the top 1, 2, and 3, you get a separate amount. And it's huge. I don't remember what the exact amount is. You can check out the YouTube video, but it's pretty damn big.
It's pretty damn big indeed.
Other than that, you can't.
By the way, by honest side note, I really want to follow up with that's what she said, but I chickened out. But anyway, go on, Sean.
Oh man, here's another change actually. So the iOS store is it should be now open for business. It wasn't. I think we had the Android store and the PC store available. So you could go into it, but you weren't able to buy anything off of iOS. It's now available. And I'm actually looking, and now you can get blueprints for weapons on the store as well. Before it was just Paragon that was available, but now you can get badges. You can get yourself the wildfire blueprint that I'm looking at right now. So if you need to get 10 of these. So you've got to have 200,000 gold to be able to get it, which I blew all my gold on skins already. So sadly, I'm not going to have the wildfire for quite a while.
And just in case anybody ever asks, and especially in this situation, does anything aesthetically that you spend money on affect the specifications or the output of that weapon or that pilot, Sean?
The pilot, it's going to have the same health. The most you can get up to is 100. So you're at 100 health. You can't go beyond that. In game, you get shields that are around the map that everybody can get. You get yourself up to 150 HP total, including the 50 shields. With the weapons, you can unlock them faster, but anybody can do that. So if you want to go ahead and grind, you can get the weapons. If you want to go ahead and unlock them a little bit quicker, sure, you can use Paragon, you can use gold to get the blueprints faster, now available in the store. So
But
it's very fair.
Basically, the game is not pay to win.
It's not pay to win. This is a very fair game. This is an excellent business model for the mobile gaming community, for Super Bit Machine to be able to give us excellent content like this with the amount of quick gameplay that we get, fun action, awesome streams. If you tune into any of the people who stream Armajet community stuff, wink, wink, Sean Austino, then you can actually see how fun the damn game is every night.
Yeah, no, it's true. I knew it. I know it's not pay to win, but I wanted to ask that out of principle, because it's so easy for somebody to disregard a mobile game as pay to win, and I wanted to make sure that it's confirmed live on stream that it is not pay to win, and I think that's really important to highlight, because the game is fantastic. It deserves so much praise between the developers, how it looks, how it plays, how it feels on all platforms. And you brought up the whole Play Store. The game's cross-platform, Sean. How freaking awesome is that?
It is so amazing. And that's what's cool about this game too, is that you have button parity that's so close. Of course, I feel like I'm more comfortable on certain devices, but that doesn't mean that someone's going to be more comfortable using a phone versus me. I'm most comfortable on PC, and I feel like I'm most accurate that way, and I perform best. So I use my PC more often. But if by default I'm out in the field, I'm going out to get coffee, hang out with my friends and family, prefer to play a little game while I'm waiting at the dentist office or whatever, I jump on my iPhone and I play from there. And that's where I'm second best, and I'm able to perform pretty well, get some bounties, get some blueprints to be able to increase my loadouts and my armory. So yeah, it's you can play it on so many different devices. It's cross-platform. There's button parity. They're getting closer. Super Bit Machine's working closer to getting everything completely clean for button parity. And so far, I've had people beat me from their phone, and I'm on a PC.
There you go. Couldn't speak for it. Can't say more than that. Yeah, and then that's what I love. And I think that's kind of obviously the, Humanist, you're OP in my heart and my eyes, so it's okay, Humanist. You can be the worst player in the world, but you still be a god in my eyes, so don't worry about that, man. So we are just waiting for these players to join up. Do humbly apologize about the delay, such as the life and soul of organizing a tournament. I hope you guys are in some way enjoying the chit chat between myself and Sean Austino. I hope it's not too boring. It's something that we always try and make sure that we are entertaining the masses with our beautiful words. But yeah, so Sean, And in some way, I'm
Yes,
trying to
ImPERium.
think what else we can talk about outside of the game.
Let's talk about. Well, we could talk about stuff that's in the game. Actually, we're still waiting
Okay.
for these players to get in. Am I right? So, what I can talk about here, what we can discuss, is let's talk about the people that we see in the top 100 that are playing in our tournament here. So, as I'm looking at the top 100, the people that we usually have up there, we've got Houdini up there this time, who we have seen him play before, but we haven't seen. He's not in this tournament as far as I know. Void, Solid Machete, Chocolicious from KEK actually is in the top is in number 4 position right now. We've got Daishi, Bad, Noexis, Hunk the Punk as well. Average Guy 777, who's another Twitch streamer who streams a little bit Armajet here and there. And then we've got Full, who we did just see play in the previous he was in the previous matchup and won by default. Then we've got a lot of Hammers players up there. Intel, Royal Havoc from Fairy Tale, Lucas as well. And let's see some of the other players. We've got Poetic Neko, actually, who's playing right now. He is number 17 ranked out of the top 100 Armajet players in the world. So it's good to see him here on the in the snow base or in the moon base.
How'd you find out the top 100?
I just blind. Go. Okay, so from the home screen of the game, in the bottom left, there's Valor button, or it's not a button, but it's like the Valor symbol, and it is a button. You click on it, and then you're able to see everybody in the top 100 there.
Is there a cap on the amount of Valor you can go up to?
I don't think there is a cap, but there's definitely a minimum to get into the top 100, and of course it changes the more people get Valor. Let's go in. I need to get into this game with you guys, so I'm gonna join. I can't join playing it. Am I able to join it? Let's see. I'm gonna join TP's game. She's on Moon.
It
looks like we're starting.
Started. Okay, yeah.
We're starting, man. 10 seconds in. Let's do it.
Yeah. Hey, screw it. Like, let's get this show on the road between these two teams. We are seeing Neko is on a bit of a killing spree. Sean, what is the score between these two teams? It seems to be 3-2. Frosty's Revenge and 3. Oh no, it seems to be 5-3 going up Frosty's Revenge. So Frosty's Revenge are looking pretty good to actually wreak some revenge on these two teams. Look at that sexy looking skin with that double damage coming out from Oddfish. But he does get taken out, so Knucklebot gets the double kill and is actually going to have his killing spree ended by Pachikniko. So Sean, the kills are looking hot and sweaty between these two teams.
Yeah, things are looking pretty close this time, unlike the other game. There's only 3 kills ahead right now for Poetic Neko and Oddsfish, whereas Nuddlebach and Royal Havoc, they've got themselves 6 at the moment. And this is much of a tighter game, actually. We see them fighting a lot in the mid at the moment, and we still have a bit of time until both the invis and the double damage respawn. So it's not necessarily the best to control the mid the entire time, though it's certainly a strategy that you could do. And Poetic Neko just got himself sandwiched right there in a 2v1 action between Nuddlebach and Royal Havoc.
Yeah, definitely looking pretty good. So Royal Havoc gets his killing spree ended. Pachinko now Oddfish that's the grenade launcher, I believe, if I'm right. So that's going to do a lot of damage, but it's the Badger, my humble apologies. Now Oddfish picks up the double damage and the invisibility. He gets the double kill. Boom! With the Badger, it absolutely tears through the enemy team. And now we do see Pachikniko has the shield, so you've got invisibility, double damage, and shield over on the side of Frosty's Revenge. They're looking pretty good. There's 1.5 minutes under between these two teams, but it's so close. We've got 13-2 for 12. 13 to
12. It is.
It is looking so close between these two teams. Now, if you're on Frosty's Revenge, because it's 2v2, surely you want to play it safe. You want to let the enemy team come to you. You don't want to be too aggressive. It seems that Frosty's Revenge was a little bit maybe too aggressive, but they are on 14-14. It's so close. Can Knucklebot get away? Yes, he does manage to get away. Now leaves Royal Havoc to take over, and he gets a kill onto Project Nico. That leaves Oddsfish on his own. He gets double tagged, and that does put Oddly Poetic Christmas ahead in this game with only 37 seconds left, or 35 at this stage of the game. We've got 16 and 14, only 2 kills, but because it's 2v2, it makes it a little bit harder for those kills to be secured as Royal Havoc and Oddsfish come together, and Oddsfish gets the better of Knucklebot, and now Royal Havoc unleashes his perk, and the double damage is picked up by Royal Havoc, so they're just going to maintain their position with 5 seconds to go. You got 15 over on the side of Frosty's Revenge. You got 19 over on the side of Olympia Christmas. They take the second game, and they take the series 2-0.
They do, and actually, I feel like we've been saying the name a little bit. I don't know if we were saying Oddly Poetic Christmas, but it's Knucklebot and Royal Havoc that are on Frosty's Revenge. They won the first game. They won. No, it's totally fine, buddy. They won the second game. They're going forward in the tournament here for the KEK tournament this weekend. But yeah, good times. This was a lot closer game. Only a 4-kill difference. I felt like because in the last minute they were actually matched up very well with their kills. They could have went into overtime, and it would have been an amazing feat to see in a 2v2 tournament to have it go into overtime.
Exactly. So we are. What I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if we are going to go into a bit of a short break. The reason why is because we haven't really had much Armajet action, if that makes sense, in the time that we have been live. I don't know if we're going to look to get the next game up as quickly as possible, if I can get a bit of information, because the next game we are going to have is going to be the Jingle Ladies versus Team Star. Before we kind of get going on it, maybe we can try to find out what the situation is from TP, if we are going to move into the next game as quickly as possible, or if we are going to have a bit of a break. Okay, so she's asking if you want to do analysis. In my opinion, okay, so they have notes, so why don't I take it over and introduce the sexy analysis, Roarrocket and BigKingL. Guys, we haven't had much Armajet action, but what we have had, what do you make of it?
I mean, it's been interesting. We really wanted to see the bad and full game because, like we said, they were one of the people we thought could go all the way, so we wanted to see how they do in game 1. We noticed that this game, a lot was on the double damage in the beginning of this game and throughout the series.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, Knucklebot and Havoc set a very good precedence as for what teams should be doing and also what not to do. Not only was there amazing double damage control between them, there was also some mildly inconsistent communication on their half with them splitting up and such. But I think that being this is the first game and this is the first one we're talking about, I think the precedents are good.
Yeah, we watched them at the end of the first game. On the third double damage that came up, they used a really nice pincer move, and then 2 seconds later, Havoc went all by himself 1 against 2, and then luckily he traded 1 for 1, and his team was already ahead, so they got the win in the first game. But that kind of inconsistent communication can really be a problem for them up against stronger opponents in the future. On Snowbase, they both played in the bottom the entire game, and neither teams really went for the shields that much. So that they're both going to have to work, I guess, just Knuckle and Havoc are going to have to work on in the next round.
I think that these were honestly really interesting matches to watch, and I think that there's a lot that teams can take from it. But for us, I think that's just about everything.
One last thing is just we noticed from the draft, from the weapon bans, is that Badger was actually banned. And I think that isn't that important because it's Fairy Tail against Fairy Tail, so I think they knew that Knuckle and Havoc might bring it out because they know them. But I think the important ban was on the Long Claw this game. I think either Poetic or Oddsfish are very proficient on the Long Claw. Knuckle and Havoc took that away, and I think that's what edged them over in this game. That's all from us for this first game. We're going to see you guys later. Back to you guys.
Ooh, thank you very much, Roarrocket and BigKingL, for that lovely, smexy analysis from the first game. Like I said, we haven't had much Armajet action, but we are hopefully going to get into the next match relatively as quickly as possible for you guys. The next game is going to be, like I said, Jingle Ladies against Team Star. The Jingle Ladies are made up of Houdini, who's EU and in the current Skyrose roster. So once again, we're seeing another Skyrose player. And then we have Seeker, who's NA, formerly with Enix, Nova Esports, and now the Skyrose team manager plus Analysis. So 2 more Skyrose team members playing in this tournament. And then we have Team Star. On a side note, Team Star, I've got a gripe to pick. That's not a very Christmassy themed name. A little bit disappointed with that.
The star on top of the tree, buddy. Come on.
Nah, man. No. I'm sorry. That is not good enough. That is not good enough. A little bit disappointed. But anyway, we have Archer, who's EU based. He's also currently Skyrose roster and formerly with Demise. Plays second in Scorpius Crossfire tournament. And we have Rate, who's NA. But there's no information on my side about Rate. Sean, you're NA based. Do you know much about the unknown Rate?
Actually, I don't know very much about Rate. I'm looking at the top 100 right now to see if he is in here. He's probably could be very well in there. I don't know very much about him. I've seen Archer. Houdini, we were talking about him earlier. He is currently number 1 in the top 100 of Armajet. He's actually rank 92, which is pretty high up there. Just below him is Void with rank 127 though. But having himself 1746 Valor right now, he's got a pretty good distance between him and Void, who's got 1685. So he's been grinding up there and getting his Valor high enough to put himself in the number 1 position. Seeker's been around doing Armajet for quite a while at the moment. He's always been in the top 100 as far as I've seen. So he's someone to watch out for as well.
Okay. Well, the map, the map loadouts in order that we're going to have is Magma, Moon, Snow Basin, if needed, going to be Canyon. And then the weapon bans is going to be Black Tusk, Jingle Ladies banned Black Tusk, and Team Star banned Long Claw. Banning Long Claw on the Magma map is overall pretty clever, right, Sean? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you're absolutely right, ImPERium. It is super smart to ban the Long Claw, especially when you're, and that's going to give you. It could give Jingle Ladies an early advantage, or sorry, it could give Team Star an early advantage. Excuse me. Yeah, to prevent Jingle Ladies from getting those long snipes because the lanes are so straight in Magma, and there's so much ability for anybody to use the Long Claw to snipe someone out, snipe their enemies out. The Black Tusk is equally smart move though by Jingle Ladies to ban that away from Team Star because not only if you don't have the Long Claw, what are you going to default to? You're going to default to a second a weapon that's going to be doing long range damage with high rate of fire with a decent amount of damage per shot. The Black Tusk is the way to go for that one.
Okay. So this is going to be interesting. I see people in chat are kind of getting a little bit hyped up for this match because, these players are well known. I've casted them before. I'm definitely expecting a lot of hype, a lot of action within the Armajet game and within this KEK tournament. It's finally going to start heating up. We're going to start to get a little bit warmer. The Magma map is going to aid that because you see the fire all around. The fire in their belly is ready to burn bright and unleash the damage, the havoc onto these teams. So we're just going to make sure these teams are ready and then load into this game as quickly as possible. It's best of 3, so there's a lot of room for these players to kind of claw their way back should it need to be done. But what is your prediction on who's going to take this first game and even potentially this series, Sean?
It's it's pretty tough, but I'm gonna have to say Jingle Ladies because these guys are both in the top 100. We see Houdini up there right now, number 1. So he's got to have a lot of experience. Seeker, I just saw he's at number 74 right now. I'm sure he's been pretty busy with a lot of stuff IRL, but still maintaining himself in the top 100 is pretty crazy bonkers. So let's go ahead and get right into it, and we're starting the match, buddy.
Yeah, we do have a Jingle Ladies on the blue and Team Star on the red. So right hand side, the Jingle Ladies are there, putting a little bit of pressure by the shield, looking to capture. Houdini captures that shield, backing right into a corner, so it's 1-0. But now we see Archer coming from behind, does get the kill onto Seeker. That long claw that Wraith has is ready to deal a lot of damage on the Houdini, so it's a 2v1 situation. Wraith and Archer trying to stick together, but Houdini did so well to take Wraith down with him. Archer gets a kill. It's 2v2, a little bit slower paced. This is really the start of the action, but what I'm noticing is these players are trying to be very, very calculated with their shots, Sean.
They are, and look at that. Without a Black Tusk available to him, we have the Thunderstorm available. Didn't do very much there, but it's tied up. It's 5-5 right now. The double damage actually ends up getting taken by Team Star at the moment. Unfortunately, it looks like it may not be on him anymore. But so far, these teams are really keeping it close. And the Thunderstorm, the noob killer weapon, is out there in full effect.
Yeah, so it's 7-6 on the side of Team Star with 2.5 minutes left to play in this game. Archer increases that lead to 2, but Seeker ends that lovely looking spree. Right, waiting for that sniper shot, grabs his shield, and now Archer's being a front line, Wraith is being the back line, but now Wraith is under a little bit of pressure. Seeker looking to come in, but no, Archer comes from behind, gets a kill onto Seeker quite effectively. And it's another kill, but it is a trading blow. It's still 10-8 between these two teams. Like I said, Team Star fragilely holding on to that lead, but the likes of the damage and the invisibility is going to show up. No, my humble apologies. Archer does have that double damage. Seeker has the invisibility. Archer's getting the plow onto Seeker with that double damage. It's 11-9, still close between these two teams, but we do see now Seeker's going from behind, so there's a bit of a Jingle Lady sandwich between these two teams. So Seeker's behind, but Archer and Wraith are getting the job done. It's a 4-kill lead for Team Star. They are comfortably increasing this lead, Sean.
Archer just deployed his ultimate, which is that drone that's going to be flying around doing some serious damage. That's another bot that's available for Team Star at the moment. Houdini and Seeker are 2v1ing right now. They get themselves a kill, so they're keeping it pretty close at 12-13 at the moment. They're 1 kill behind. But what's unfortunate about Seeker when he did end up getting that invis is that he was throwing out shots from the mid lane, and Archer was easily able to see him getting revealed, and he got annihilated by that double damage earlier on. So now we see Team Star pulling away, still just 2 kills up with 45 seconds remaining.
It's gone up to 3. It's gone up to 4 with 40 seconds to go. You gotta give it to Jingle Ladies because they did crawl their way back just a little bit. They jingled all their way, but now they've fallen a little bit behind. They might need to call Santa's reindeers and ask for a little bit of help. Might see a little bit of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer come to help Jingle Ladies if it's needed. It's down to 3. Now Seeker has unleashed his perk. It's gone back up to 4, so they're gonna have to be a little bit careful of that. Double damage being killed up. Houdini's on the killing spree. He picks up that double damage. It's 2 kills with 7 seconds to go. Can they crawl their way back up? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Team Star take this first game with only a 2-kill lead ahead of Jingle Ladies. That was a pretty damn close one, Sean.
That was an amazing match. It was close up until the last minute and a half of the match. And Houdini and Seeker just couldn't cut it. And I've been seeing in chat over and over again, Seeker not having the long claw at his disposal. It was just such a detriment to him. You know, he's got to be an excellent sniper. I've played against him so many times, and I'm scared of this guy. And Archer and Raid coming out of nowhere. Look at Archer getting himself 15 kills. This guy is a damn beast, and with Rate heavily supporting him, this is exactly what we needed to see. We needed to see a heavy carry game from these guys right here. So pretty amazing, pretty cool to be seeing Team Star, who we viewed as the underdogs, be able to take the win. Very nicely done by them.
Yeah, and also the analysis before, I'll say that word right once in a while, they put Team Star as the biggest underdog team. In my opinion, they're not an underdog team. From what I can see, they are pretty damn good.
Yeah, they seem to be pretty good, and it's Archer that we've got to keep our eye on here. And what's really cool too is even though they got the Black Tusk banned against them, they couldn't use it. They pulled out that Thunderstorm, and it must have been thunder and lightning.
I've lost Sean. Sean's dead, guys. No, Sean. Sean! While we are waiting for Sean to get back into this VC, we'll find him some way, shape, or form. I'm just going to try and join this party because hopefully TP has this lobby set up. Nope, not quite. She's still in the old lobby, waiting to try and find us out as quickly as possible. Sean Austino. I feel like, you know, if I don't have a Sean Austino beside me, I feel like my one of my arms is cut off. You know what I mean? Like it's. Oh, Sean Austino lost the internet. Can we send a search party for Sean's internet? If we can find or a missing internet leaflet, if you can all post a missing internet notification.
ImPERium, the Killer Penguins, I'm sending out an SOS right now! I'm finding it for you!
Thank you very much, Killer Penguin. The warrior, the war hero that is Killer Penguin, coming to find Sean's internet. It's lost. Is there maybe a find my internet tracker that can be searched on? So no, I'm just gonna try to get into this party as quickly as possible. I'm just gonna enter the lovely code that I believe TPS sent up for ourselves to enter in. Once I can actually okay, yeah, it's not letting me. Oh, there you go. There you go. So guys, that was an absolutely epic first game between Team Star and Jingle Ladies. I'm more of a hype caster, so I can't say I know everything about this game, but I do know that it was really hype. It was very close between the two teams. We do still have the same weapon bans, guys. We do still have the two weapon bans, which is over on the side of Jingle Ladies. They banned the Black Tusk from Team Star, so Team Star cannot use Black Tusk, but Team Star banned Long Claw, so Jingle Ladies can't use
Sean Austino is back, everybody.
Whoa! Sean, did you find your internet? Is your internet okay?
I got out of magma deep in the Earth's core, and I'm back. I have internet now.
God.
It's okay. Man. It's okay, everybody. So what were we talking about? Lead me into the conversation, good buddy.
I was just talking about how I was just basically talking crap, to be honest. No. I was
you hate me, don't you?
No, I miss you, man. I was actually saying, with not having you casting by my side is like missing the right arm, dude. You know what I mean? And I need my right arm. It's a very important part of my body. No judge, wink, wink. Anyway, I was saying that the first match between Jingle Ladies and Team Star was really close, and that we still have the same weapon bans, explaining that the Jingle Ladies banned out Black Tusk from Team Star, and Team Star banned out Longclaw from Jingle Ladies. But the Magma was a different map, obviously. But now we are into the moon base. So taking the Jingle Ladies taking away Black Tusk from Team Star, do you think that's going to give Jingle Ladies a bit of an advantage in this map?
Yeah, I think both the Longclaw and Black Tusk bans are actually very detrimental to both teams.
Okay.
And sure, we can have Team Star pick up the Longclaw themselves and use it, but if the Longclaw is banned on the other side, they don't have to use it at all. Like, there's no point. They might as well just get in the face of Jingle Ladies, get off an excellent combo that we've been seeing, like the Enforcer being used along with the Black Tusk, or sorry, not the Black Tusk, with the Thunderstorm, and they're able to just annihilate these guys over and over again. And that's a cool thing about the Thunderstorm. I feel like I'm quite of an expert on using it, is that if you're able to time it well enough, give it a cool, like, let the cooldown reset and fill up the magazine again, then you're able to just do so much output of damage over and over again. However, if you do let it overheat, then it ends up being about 3 to 5 seconds that you've got to wait for it to be available for you again.
Okay, that's yeah, and it's fair, and that's the thing. That's why I think it's part of what makes this game kind of so much more full of depth than you initially think, is because you have to really manage your ammo, so to speak. You have to manage the charge on your weapon. But I want to ask you, Sean, what is the weapon that Archer is currently using in the loading screen? Because it's one I haven't seen myself.
That is the Locust, I believe. I haven't used it myself, but it's the next weapon that I am available to use once I get enough bounties for it and unlock. Because I need to get bounties. I need to keep getting those consistently to be able to unlock it. But and get the blueprints available. But that weapon has a lot of kickback to it. So if you hit enemies, or even if you hit your allies, you can actually push people around with it. So it has a lot of kickbacks, just like the grenade launcher has kickback to it too. But the rate of fire on the Locust is actually really, really high. So it's not the Locust. Someone's telling me it's not the Locust. I'm so bad.
Rip, you just got caught.
Rip me. What's the name of this?
Oh,
Bruce or Pro Exterminator. It's not the Locust. Tell me what it is. Is it the Lycan? I had it in my mind that it was the Locust the whole time. I don't have it. I'm so bad.
Either way, we are into this game. We got 337. We have got Seeker and Houdini taking a 3-1 lead. That is Jingle Ladies trying to claw back into this game. Seems like without the Black Claw, it seems like maybe it could be Team Star being put under a little bit of pressure. It's 6-1. Jingle Ladies called upon the jingle bells of hell, and they really summoned it from the death. And the last game, it's starting to come together for them in this second game. They are 8-1 up after 1 minute gone. Sean, it's Seeker and Houdini. They are working really well together. It's I believe it's looking at 5 and 4 kills each, so they are working really well together. They're dominating the map, keeping control of the center area. They're looking pretty good. What do Team Star have to do to kind of get back into it? Because 8 kill difference.
I feel like they've got to maintain their distance, because Seeker and Houdini are doing what they actually need to do here. They've switched to using the They've switched over to using, it looks like, the Black Tusk themselves, which is actually smart. It's like the rate of fire is really good on that. It's got good distance on it, and rate is using himself that long claw there, but I feel like it's not the best to use
No.
right now in this situation because the rate of fire is so slow on the long claw, and these lanes are not level, they're not equal. Sure, you can get a good snipe on someone who's going after the double damage, but it's pretty difficult to, without the Black Tusk in their loadout not being able to be used here. It's really difficult for them to maintain control over the mid area. Now we do see them getting some kills finally. They are 7 kills behind at the moment. Team Star is just going to have to keep maintaining, and they've got control over the double damage right now, but watch out for Houdini. He's got the invis.
Yeah, but in fairness, he got away from his Seeker teammate. However, Houdini took out Archer, so Houdini Houdini with the invisibility goes. Boom! You are out of here. That is a 15-7 kill lead on the side of Jingle Ladies. It looks like we might get an absolute beautifully sexy game 3 between these two teams if it can be kept up on the side of Jingle Ladies. That is a 10 kill lead on them with 1 minute to go. This game overall though seems a little bit more passive and more calculated. Is that kind of due to the map, or is it just Jingle Ladies playing a very sensible game and maybe Team Star being too safe for their own good?
I don't see Archer very often in the playing in the queues, the lobbies, but I feel like he's not as comfortable with the Locust as, and it is confirmed it's the Locust. He's not as comfortable with the Locust compared to the Thunderstorm. I feel like if he just switches back to his combo with the Thunderstorm and the Enforcer, he could get a lot of damage down, and he's gotten himself up to 5 kills right now. He needs to be careful though, because he's being focused down really well, and both him and his teammate have got 9 and 10 deaths each for Rate and Archer. It's with 10 seconds left, things are looking pretty glim for them.
Yeah, it could be too little too late on the side of Team Star. Jingle Ladies, 5 seconds ago, 7 kills ahead, make that 6, round is over, boom, shakalaka, Jingle Ladies take this game 2, and we are gonna go to a game 3, Sean Austino. I like the fact that it took us a little bit longer to get into this spicy action, but when we've now got here, we're gonna appreciate it a little bit more, Sean. We're gonna go, this is what we've been waiting for. We got teased, we got tickled for that game 3, but it's gonna be worthwhile because we are going to be going into this snow base on this game 3 between these two teams. Jingle Ladies redeemed themselves. You could actually say they got much better than the first game, because in the first game they were about 2 kills, 3 kills behind, but now they actually won by 7-8 kills. They comfortably led most of that game.
It was a big difference, and I feel like what happened, and they were ahead by more than that. I feel like they were ahead by 10 kills and even more at some point. But the thing is that you've gotten Seeker and Houdini, who are very comfortable players. They got caught off guard at first, but now they wised up. They knew what they needed to do. They maintained their distance. They focused down Archer at first, and then after that, they were just able to. I feel like they were able to just rack up kill after kill after kill. Archer himself, not the most comfortable, it seems, on the Locust at the moment. Thunderstorm is the way to go, but then he's got to be careful with that too if he's using that Thunderstorm Enforcer combo, because that's going to fail miserably to a Black Tusk. If you have a Black Tusk on the enemy team, Jingle Ladies, if they're holding that, then Jingle Ladies is going to have a supreme advantage with damage output and distance that a Thunderstorm needs to cover to get in your face.
And that's what the guys are saying about having a very, broad spectrum of the weapon loadouts, Sean, so that when it comes to this kind of situation where you are having to go outside your comfort zone, having that extra little bit of experience with the weapon loadout and how your playstyle needs to evolve because of it will make a big difference in these tournaments.
Yeah, I think it will. It looks like we're having a little bit of an issue getting into the correct map here, guys. We have some people saying Canyon is going to be next.
No,
we thought it was going to be Snow Base. I'm not sure if the way we're doing it right now is the winner like gets to choose where or the team that loses, it goes to their new map. So anyway, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we're going to be working on. Looks like we're going to Canyon now.
Oh, we're gonna go to Canyon. I'm actually okay with that, to be perfectly
I like
honest.
Canyon. I like the new map. There's so much detail in this map right now. Like, if you look at some of the platforms here in the lanes, you see the dust being blown by the wind off of the lane, which is really cool. It's a nice detail that Super Big Machine added in there.
I just want to talk about three-way fisting, to be perfectly honest, Sean. You know, like
it's the only map with a true fist.
Hey man, that's the only map where you can fist 3 ways and you can enjoy it. You can goddamn enjoy it. That's not dust. That's smoke coming out from those fists, because those fists have been working hard. They've been working damn hard for your entertainment, for your pleasure, Sean. That is the way you gotta look at this map.
Hey guys, I'm having a bit of an issue getting into the map right now. It says that I don't know if we're playing right now, if we're still
No,
in
we're not
mode.
playing. Don't worry. It's still.
Yeah, I'm clicking on joining team deathmatch and it says failed to connect. But
Do you want the code? Do you want the code?
Oh yeah, if you need to give me a code, give me a code.
Yeah, I'll type. I'm not gonna say, otherwise we'll get random people joining Kappa.
Of course.
It's a secret, super special code. If I tell you, I have to kill you. So Sean, I've just told you I do have to kill you.
You can't tell me with your mouth, but you can tell me with your typing.
I can't tell you with my mouth, but I can tell you with my tongue. Giggity.
Did you type it with your tongue?
Yes, I did. No, I typed it with my fist, man. You know, like
you typed with your fist. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. All right, in all seriousness, let's get into this best of 3, game 3 right now, which has been an amazing journey for only the second. This is a third series, actually. This is our third series that we're into right now, with Jingle Ladies and Team Star here, both tied 1 apiece. Everything is on the line here to progress in the KEK tournament for these guys.
Yeah, and you know, I do want to talk seriously about this map and what makes it different to the other maps, Sean. What do you think really makes it, you know, let's say in a certain way unique? Is it the little ridges that you can hide behind? Is it the kind of extra high platform that we see on the right hand side? To you, what makes it different?
What I feel makes this map very different is that anybody who's on the left side of the map, the west side, actually has a big advantage, I feel, because they have a lot more cover. It's a lot less open. There's more, the lanes are kind of messed up, especially in the middle. There's a lot of different shapes here. And if you're just straight up running across the map, it actually takes a very long time to get across the map. But we're into the game now. Game number 3 here. Jingle Ladies versus Team Star. Let's do it, ImPERium.
Yes, we have Team Star on the left-hand side of this map, and we have Jingle Ladies in the blue. They are being a little bit passive on the side of each other. Houdini getting a couple of shots, trading blows, but not getting the final shots. We do see Wraith with that long claw, looking to get those sniper shots off, and Archer gets the first kill onto Seeker, but Houdini follows up onto Wraith, so it's a 1v1 trade in the first 30 seconds or so. Archer gets a better Houdini, but Houdini takes out Wraith. This is 2v2 as close as they come, and Seeker picks up double damage, takes out Wraith, takes out Archer. This is where it all starts to turn around for Jingle Ladies. They can do the clean sweep. They've got the shield, they've got double damage, but Archer actually takes out Seeker without that double damage, and then turns his attention to Houdini and goes, boom! You are out of here, my furry little friends. Team Star take the lead by 1 kill, but it's only 1. It has to be increased by more if you are really going to secure this game for your team, right, Sean?
If you control the mid, you get the double damage. You've got to be careful and be accurate with your shots. The Black Tusk, it can be very devastating with the double damage, but if you're not landing those bullets, then you're not going to be able to do very much with it. So controlling the mid, very important, but you got to be able to use it wisely. Damage rotation. We've been seeing Archer, so smart, backing off. He just got himself killed right there at the end of his spree. But he backed off when he got low on health, got himself that health power up on the bot lane on the left side.
Sean, he's got all the kills for his team.
He's
one-man shown this bad boy of a game. Not saying Raid isn't doing anything, but if you can't finish the job, there's no point in being involved, my friends, because you gotta be able to get the job done. Houdini takes down Raid. It's 6-7. Archer is carrying his team on his back in this game by the skin of his teeth. It's now 7-7. I do joke, right, though. You are an absolute fantastic player. Seeker gets a kill onto Archer. This is Houdini along with Seeker looking to be very aggressive on the right hand side. Throws a grenade out. Seeker is on a killing spree. It's a turnaround. Jingle Ladies take the lead by 3 kills with 1.5 minutes to go.
Oh,
this is the lead, baby!
Oh, so good!
Oh, another one nearly connects on the Archer. So this is now Houdini, but the perk gets activated by Seeker, but it does go over on the right hand side. But with Team Star on the other side, Seeker has actually ended his own killing spree. Still 2 kills between these two teams with 1 minute to go. Sean Archer is looking to get the job done. As you do see, Seeker still has his perk out, but Archer has his out. Grenade flies around, but it seems like it could be over on the Seeker. It could be kind of on his own. He gets taken out. It's 10 each with 40 seconds to go. Sean, can this get any goddamn closer? Could we go to a 4th game?
We could go into overtime, and if overtime goes to a draw, then we go to a 4th game. That's for sure. We'll start over the maps again, or play the remaining map, actually.
Yes,
with 20 seconds left, we do have a bit of an advantage right now for Team Star. They're 2 kills ahead. Will they be able to take this from Jingle Ladies? Have the bells of hell, the Jingle Hell bells rung?
The bells are ringing out on Armajet Day, my friends. 5 seconds ago, 2 kills ahead on the side of Team Sire. They just need to just stay back. They do. They take this 3rd game, and unfortunately, Jingle Ladies will not move forward. Houdini and Seeker, some of the top players in the Armajet game right now. But Team Star, the underdogs, they take this series 2-1, and they will advance forward.
What a fun series that was. And look at Archer. He is going to be the guy to watch. We know that Skyrose has been an excellent clan to be looking at here in Armajet. And Archer, who we've seen play before, just carried this over and over again. Him and Rake both got shut down in game 2, but they really came back. They really showed it here in game 3, and they did what they needed to do. It was just so insane to see the Thunderstorm used over and over again to such great effect, and to have him consistently do it and maintain this small lead into the game over and over again, despite those awesome grenade kills from Seeker. It's just been, that was a real treat to see that last match for sure, and this last series.
Yeah, and from a genuine point of view, I really love the Canyon map. Sean, I really think it is like the biggest game changer map-wise, because I really think there's so many elements to the map in terms of where to hide. Like you point out the difference between the west side and the east side, but just how, you know, there's so many little crevices and that's only 2v2. Imagine if it's 4v4. It's even kind of crazier, but also really unique. I absolutely love that Canyon map, and it was so great to have that featured as the 3rd map in a series. But that action is over, and we are going to be going on to the next game. It is going to be Hammers Jingle Bells against the Candy Claws. Hammers Jingle Bells is made up of Fat Liver Freddy, the absolutely most awesome IGN I've ever read out in my life. Fat Liver Freddy, my god, I'm in love. He's the Hammers Clan casual member, and he's also joined by Hunk the Punk, also NA-based, and a Hammers Clan casual member. And then we have the Candy Claws made up of Python, who's the current Hammers esports roster that plays first in the Scorpius Crossfire tournament. And then you have Kima, the big boss man, the beast from the east, the monster from whatever rhymes with monster, is the big boss to Dev Hacks, and he is the biggest kappa in all of the land. Man, this is going to be hard work for Jingle Bells to overcome, I feel, Sean.
It's going to be really difficult, especially because last time we cast an Armajet tournament, it was actually the Scorpia Crossfire Armajet tournament, and we saw Python making a big splash there during that tournament. We talked about him a lot. He was the one that had to be shut down, and we know that Hammers dominated in that tournament. They were the Cinderella story that ended up winning, going into they went into the losers bracket after day one, but they fought themselves out from under that through the lower brackets, got into the finals, and they ended up taking the whole thing over. Python, watch out for him. Armajet, Kima, he's got himself a huge arsenal. So whatever they have banned against them is not going to matter, man, because he has so many other weapons in his loadout. He's just going to have to restrain himself.
Well, here's the thing. The weapon bans that have been issued on each team. We have Jingle Bells have banned the Long Claw away from the Candy Claws. In my eyes, that's a really good pick, because a player like Python and Kima, they're the kind of players that are going to be able to get the best out of the Long Claw with the accuracy and the level of practice that they have. So I really like that. Whereas on the side of Candy Claws, they've taken away the Tremor, which I definitely think is, without knowing everything, I think that's also a good ban weapon-wise to take away from a team like Jingle Bells, who are more casual players. Then from a map point of view, as you guys can see, the first map will be Moon, followed by Magma, and then we will find out what will be the third map if we get to that third and potentially final game of this best of 3 series. So Sean, would you agree with me with the weapon bans and what that will make to kind of each team's change in strategy?
Yeah, I feel like you're right. So we're going to be starting off with it looks like we're going to be starting off with Moonbase. Am I right? So going into Moonbase, yes. I feel like it is a little bit more of a flat map. And by the way, I have to be invited to the game. I can't get in for some reason.
Then let me send you the code again.
Yes,
maybe the game just doesn't like you, man.
I know. I guess that's it. I must have pissed the Armajet servers off last night by dancing in between the rockets. Actually, I used this code and it didn't let me get into the game. It says I must be. Oh, does it have to have like a hashtag? In
dancing on the ceiling. No, I don't think it needs a hashtag.
I'm clicking it. Oh wait, am I getting in? Okay, I'm in now. So before it was saying you must be invited.
Maybe they just wanted to get approval. I don't know. Either way, so. Like I said,
it's interesting to have the Long Claw banned by both of these teams right now. So it's going to make it so these teams are going to have to get a lot closer to each other. The Black Tusk is still a little bit longer range. Badger's going to be long range too. Badger might be useful here in this map because not necessarily in the middle, but it's still kind of close in the middle. It's not necessarily as huge as Temple is. And you're going to want to have both control of both the power-ups there. The Invis and the Cloak are both, the Invis and the double damage are both in the middle of the map. They're easy to get to. A Badger wouldn't necessarily be the worst weapon to use here. It's just the rate of fire on the Badger is just so slow.
Okay. We are waiting on Fat Liver Freddy and Hunk to Poke to join this party. The party in the Armajet pants. That is the Moon base. And this TP KEK YEETournament, Christmas themed, Christmas fun, and this is what I like to see within the Armajet community. Thank you very much on a side note to everybody that is tuned in so far to really just join in the fun, to have a laugh, to watch some fantastic Armajet action. One of the best. Overall kind of really new mobile games out there, and actually, should I say, cross-platform games out there, easily up there with the best, and in my opinion, has one of the biggest and brightest futures ahead of it as a game, completely unpaid to win. You only need to pay money if you want to make your pilot look a little bit sexier, a little bit quicker, to make yourself just look a little bit kind of like, nicer, as if you know what you're doing, and then you get into the game and you're like, okay, I suck at this. But either way, because that's what I've done. I've pimped up my pilot when, in fact, if I go into this game, I'll be like, oh, feels bad, man. Feels bad. But either way, so we are into this next match as quickly as possible. It is going to be Jingle Bells against Candy Claws. Like I said, just waiting for these players to join on the side of Jingle Bells. Maybe are just, Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, Robin laid an egg. We are just getting out of this lobby. We're going to try to, try and find out as quickly as possible. Accept the requests of these players and try and get involved as quickly as possible to get into this party. So I kind of mentioned that Jingle Bells, they're made up of 2 Hammers casual clan players. So obviously that's technically going to give them, I wouldn't say disadvantage, but they won't have played the game as much or as often or in as much of a high level scene. Could we see a bit of a wipeout between these 2 teams, with Candy Claws kind of taking the strong advantage?
I think they would use their Candy Claws to definitely scratch a hole into Hammer's Jingle Bells because Python is so good. That guy, he was just amazing in the previous Armajet tournament that we cast. And, of course, Kima's been playing the game for a huge number of years as the Armajet account. So I'm interested to see what kind of weapons he pulls out here. I hope he pulls out the Wildfire. I hope he's listening. And then, of course, if he starts to fall behind and Wildfire or the Venom or any of those other weapons that he's not using, if he has to default to the Black Tusk, to get some more kills, get themselves in the lead, then, of course, have at it. But it's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be good to see. It's going to be interesting to see. And Hunk the Punk, he's no slouch. I've seen that guy playing in some of the games, and he's a pretty tough cookie. So watch out for him.
Okay. Then we will obviously be able to find out more. We will be able to find out as quickly as possible, because we do have Fat Liver Freddy and Hunk the Punk in this party, waiting, should I say, to start up this match in the moon base, in the moon landing, trying to see what we can get. So
watch out for Python. He's got himself his perk is actually the rocket sentry right there. So that's going to be doing some serious damage once he's able to get enough of his power up to throw that ultimate down.
Okay, well, time will tell. See, the thing is, so what would be the strategy from Jingle Bells coming up against a team like Candy Claws and those players? What would you do for them? Because obviously there's a disadvantage skill wise, but surely they can do something to soften the blow.
This is what I recommend they do. They're obviously not going to be the most aggressive team if they're coming in as the underdogs. So maybe they'll have to maintain control of the mid power-ups by maintaining a little bit of distance. Oh, we got a stick, but it didn't work. Actually, was that a knife? I think it may have been a knife, or it could have been the stick grenade. But either way, he ended up killing him right away with the Black Tusk. Anyway, let's go on, ImPERium. We're into game number 1 here.
We are indeed, and in fairness, it's not as much of a lead as I thought. It's just 3-1 over the side of Candy Claws, as Kima, should I say, looks to pick up the shield. He does indeed, but Hunk the Punk is trying to get him from on top, but he doesn't quite get there. Yes, indeed, Kima is on a killing spree. Python gets another kill. Now we're starting to see this lead build up. It's 5-1 in the favor of the Candy Claws, going up to 6-1. You gotta feel bad, man, for Jingle bells. They could be going home, shaking their jingle bells all the way if they don't in some way look to get a bit more of a stronghold on this game. Fat Liver Freddy does have the black claw, the long claw, should I say. Let's see if he can make it work. Is it not the long claw?
It's he is using the long claw. Actually, he should not be using the long claw. Because the long claw is banned against both teams right now. We do see Python with a sniper rifle, but it is not the long claw.
No,
he's got him. I don't know which one that is because I haven't seen it yet.
Jingle Bells can use the long claw because they banned the long claw from the candy claws. But no.
I thought long claw was banned for both of these guys.
No.
Oh, did we change it up? I'm sorry. I thought it was banned for both of them. It's the tremor that is banned by candy claws. Yes, my mistake.
It's okay. You learn, but in fairness, no, it's an easy mistake. Luckily, I happen to remember. In fairness, it's not often I do remember information like that. But we do see it's 11-5 between these two teams. 2 minutes to go. You got to give credit to Jingle Bells because they've gotten more kills on the board. Yes, it is 12-6, so they are kind of double. The lead ahead, but they've still gotten 6 kills. It's better than a kick in the face, unless you're into that kind of thing. But Kima, what the hell is that gun that he's got, Sean Austino?
I forgot what it's called, but that is one of the really high tier weapons. That is like a railgun, man. That thing is shooting energy bullets out there all across the map. It does devastating damage. It's not going to kill you in one hit, but I think it's doing like 90 damage per shot. That thing is just insane. Look at that. He got one hit on the Fat Liver Freddy. It has such a long reload time, so the rate of fire is very, very slow, but it shoots all the way across the map, and now we've got 16-6 right now, and Armajet is ripping them a new one. Jingle Bells has no chance.
Toxic, man. Absolutely toxic as Kima gets a double kill. Honk the Punk along with Fat Liver Freddy are doing their best to try and stick into this. How do you cope with that type of gun coming out for Kima? Do you actually look in a 2v1 situation to take out Kima and kind of focus on him, or what can you even do because Honk the Punk is under a lot of pressure? That's another kill. 21-7. Fat Liver Freddy is gonna, you know what? He's gonna need a new liver after taking on Candy Claus because he's gonna be driven to drink after being annihilated. 22-8 with 15 seconds to go. Python has picked up invisibility just for the fun of it. He has unleashed his perk onto the map. 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Candy Claus take a comfortable 24-8 win in this game one. I hate to say it, and nothing against the Honk the Punk and Fat Liver Freddy because they are fantastic people to be entering this tournament and putting themselves out there, but it was slightly to be expected, right, Sean?
It was totally to be expected, and it's because these guys have look at Armajet's ranking. He's 95 right now. Yeah. Nerf Armajet for sure. Yeah. Nerf the account, but he's got 95 rank. He's got a lot. He's got to have found a lot of bounties. Doing that, he's unlocked a lot of weapons for his armory. 68 right there for Python. Same thing with him, and then we've got 29 and 39 here for Fat Liver Freddy and Honk the Punk. So it's a pretty difficult thing to be able to go up against weapons like that, but every weapon has its weakness. That's the thing. That railgun itself, which I always forget what it's called. Kima, you could probably tell me in the Twitch chat, or someone could tell me. But that railgun has a slow rate of fire. So if you're able to just time his shots, make sure you're not in the path of the rail that's being shot out there, then Kima does an open bound, he says BigKingL. But if you're able to do that, if you're able to avoid the shots, you get in close, you use something with a higher rate of fire to be able to take him out quickly, you will be able to do it. You could two-shot him, getting the Enforcer in there, shooting him up with the Thunderstorm. If you get in really close, hitting him with the Black Tusk afterwards, whatever you got for your primary, then you could take him out. It's not impossible. I have beat Kima when he has had that weapon in, I think it was a 2v2. It may have been a 4v4 situation. But still, you've got to just be able to avoid it. Avoid that railgun at all costs. come on in when he's reloading.
You've gotta. I'm not gonna comment on that, but we are gonna try and load into a second game, which it is gonna be on the map of. Drumroll, please. It's going to be Magma, if I'm not mistaken. So with a map like Magma, again, do you think that's gonna put the Candy Claws in a bit of a better advantage because of their even though they don't have the Long Claw available, we could see Kima pull out that disgustingly accurate railgun and actually, by the way, on that railgun item, what I've noticed about it, it's called a Velocitas. That's what it's called. It's called a
Velocitas. That's right. Yep, I recall the name now.
Thank you very much, Santa-san, for that, or Draco-san, as he's also known as. But what I noticed about it is that you kind of mentioned about, avoiding being across it, but it has such a quick rate of fire from the moment you press it to trigger it, that it's really hard to avoid it if the shot that's on you is accurate, if that makes sense, But as I was saying, going into this Mag map, do you think it's actually going to be harder for Jingle Bells to get a bit of a result from this?
I think it's going to be tough for sure since they have do they have the Long Claw? It's not the Long Claw, it's the Tremor that's banned against them. I think they could use the Long Claw to their advantage here. But at the same time, that Velocitas does have a longer range than the Long Claw has, and it's just such a crazy weapon. So it's going to be a little bit more equal here, I feel. But then again, it comes down to the experience of the players.
Do you want to?
I'm trying to get into the. Yeah, I'm trying to get in right now, buddy.
You have the code?
I have the code. I'm joining.
Yeah. Oof.
Failed to connect. It says I have to be invited. They have to invite me directly, I feel.
I can't invite you.
Let's try it again.
Oh, we're actually starting. No.
I'm not in.
Oh, rip.
It won't let me in.
It's okay. I'll carry this on my back, just like Kima carried that first game on his back, and we are straight into the action on this Magma map. And it is 1 each between these two teams. It's 2-1 in the favor of Candy Claws in the early game. We do see that Jingle Bells are on the blue with Candy Claws on the right side, 3-1 already. We do see Python. He hasn't quite got the Long Claw, if I'm not mistaken. It is another gun that I don't quite know the name of. My humble apologies, guys. I'm not the complete analytical caster of this armament. You're in to win it. Spin to win. Python is on an absolute killing spree, and Candy Claws start as a mean to go on, taking a 6-1 lead in the first 45 seconds, Sean Austino.
Yeah, it's pretty insane right now. At least we do have Jingle Bells getting some kills to their name. They've got 2 right now, but the way that Candy Claws is trading into them over and over again, especially with Python now actually getting 7 kills, they're just pulling away so quickly, and this is gonna end up being an interesting match when it comes down to their weapon choice. But I do like that one too that Armajet is using. You got to learn the name of these high tier weapons, man.
It's grand. You'll get there. You'll get there. On a side note, guys in chat, they didn't ban the Tremor against Kima and Python. They banned the Long Claw against Tremor and against Python and Kima. It was Python and Kima who banned the Tremor against Jingle Bells. Just to let you guys know, just to confirm that. Okay, so we are in this game. To just under 2 minutes gone. It's 13-5. In fairness, once again, Jingle Bells are slightly clawing their way back up there. It is back up to 10 kills behind, but they still have 5 kills to their name. You can't help but feel a little bit sorry. The Punk does pretty well to get the behind snipe on to Python. So it is 6-16, but the double damage has been picked up by Kima with that Velocitor. If that's what it's called, Velocitas, and he has the invisibility as well. That is complete toxic coming out from Kima. Ban Kima, hashtag ban Kima for life from Armajet. Kappa, Macappa, 17-6, 6x with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go in this game. He's on a goddamn killing spree. Can Kima even be stopped, Sean?
This is just bonkers, and he's still behind in kills right now. He's got 7-4 with his KD at the moment, but Python is doing a lot of work out there. He's got himself long range with that weapon, and he's got 14 kills to his name. So the Velocitus in combination with that, there's just so much that the damage output is a little bit slower, but when it comes to just hitting them with one, boom, they are gone, especially when they're pinned down like that on the left side of the map. The drones flying around, giving them another body on the map that Jingle Bells is going to have to worry about. But clear the line of fire, Hunk. Get out of there. They finally got him. He finally took out Armajet.
Oh, man. Let the bodies hit the goddamn floor with 25 seconds to go between these two teams. You have the Candy Claws, the Candy Crushers, the Candy Eaters, whatever you want to call them, the Candy Kimas on a 25-9 lead with 10 seconds to go. They already won game 1. They're in game 2, and they're about to secure this series 2-0 against Jingle Bells quite comfortably. But once again, I want to give a lot of credit to Jingle Bells. Hung the Punk got 9 kills. Better nothing, and at the end of the day, they put themselves out there to try to compete with better players, and the only way you improve as a player is by playing against better players, Sean.
Absolutely right, man. He got himself 9 kills. They got 13 deaths apiece, which is pretty damn solid, pretty expected for going up against Python and Armajet right now. And it sounds like we're actually going to be throwing it over to our good boys, Roarrocket and BigKingL for a bit of analysis at the analyst desk.
Oh yeah, babies.
Thanks, guys. So we get to go over the Archer rate versus Houdini Seeker game first. Really, it was huge bans here. Longclaw against Houdini and Seeker because both of them are Longclaw mains. And the Black Tusk being taken away from Archer, which is because he's a frontline. He almost always uses that weapon. He had to move over to the Thunderstorm and even the Locust in that game, in that series.
Yeah, I think with Black Tusk getting banned, it still left the option for Rate and Archer to play a frontline and backline composition, and that's something that Houdini and Seeker just didn't have the luxury. I think that the ability to actually rotate properly instead of running, some sort of a double frontline, and the ability for Rate to actually space them both out, I think that it really led to some lopsided games in that regard. Although Houdini and Seeker did extremely well at actually closing the gaps a lot of the times.
We noticed that overall, during the series, double damage control was generally on the side of Archer and Rate, except for in that second game. The second game was really important because Archer switched off the Thunderstorm and onto the Locust. The Locust cannot compete with the Black Tusk when you're trading damage DPS-wise. It just can't compete whatsoever. It left Rate with very little and no protection often, and Seeker and Houdini both being on the Black Tusk exploited that very well. They were able to capitalize on double damage. They were able to clean up Archer and Rate. They were able to exploit their mistakes, and it resulted in that Game 2 win. Then on Game 3, Archer came back, used the Locust just for one death, and it paid off for him going back to the Thunderstorm.
Yeah, in Game 3, we actually saw Archer almost throw the game in that sense, because when he switched to Locust, it actually gave a lot of momentum to Houdini and Seeker, and something like that is just not something that you can do to a comp that's working. something like that really threw the momentum out of their favor, and that's why the game was so close. But if he would have stuck with Thunderstorm and stuck with what was working and played around Raid, I think that game would have went a lot better.
Yeah, because we noticed Seeker moved on to the Badger at the end of the third game, and because Archer switched to Locust, gave him double damage, and then when Archer had to run at him with Thunderstorm, he one-shot him.
Yeah.
And then in that other game...
Yeah, the second series, I think we all know relatively what happens, but probably the biggest point of information to point out, I guess, would be the fact that the ban of Longclaw onto Python and Kima was essentially useless due to the fact that Python had another sniper option that was given to him, by the way. It kind of made it that ban useless.
Yeah, the pointless ban. On the other side, the Tremor ban was pretty good. Freddy plays Tremor a lot, so that was a good ban, putting him a little bit outside his comfort zone. But the fact that Kima just has an endless arsenal of weapons, the ban really didn't affect him. And Python now having the Leviathan made their ban pointless. So the skill, Hunk and Freddy have the skill, but it just was not in their favor for that series.
Yeah, it was just a very large amount of flexibility on the side of Kima and Python, and that was 100% what won them that series.
That's all we got for these two. We're excited to be back after the next two.
Thank you very much to BigKingL and Roarrocket for that great analysis and great little bit of insight from those two series, and actually particularly from the Jingle Bells and Candy Claw series, because sometimes it can be quite easy to kind of just not dismiss it, but to it can be a little bit harder to highlight something, so to speak. But I think it was really good what you mentioned about the weapon bans, especially the Tremor, because like I said, I didn't know that Fat Liver Freddy likes to use the Tremor, so that's kind of, again, it backs up the fact that if you are kind of more experienced in all of the guns, that it's going to make it a little bit of an easier time in this kind of situation and in this kind of setting. But those were the last game, Sean. We still have two more. I repeat, two more games for the viewers tonight.
That's right. The
Do
first
you
one
want
coming up.
to do the honors?
I'll take it. Sure. Thanks, buddy. Gangster Rappers coming up next versus Jingle Junkies. We've got a lot of jingle stuff going on here on Armajet tournament.
On the side note, I loved it. I love the Gangster Rappers because it's WRAPPERS. I kind of like that, to be honest. But anyway, go on.
I like it too, man. We're first going to Moon, it looks like. And this is an interesting one because we've got... See, this is where I must have got confused. Last game I thought it was double long claw ban. This time it's the double long claw ban.
Okay.
So we're going to have both these teams unable to use long claw for the duration of their series together.
And the first map is Moon. But who's playing for these teams, Sean? Who is on...
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you're going to tell them about the team,
Maverick,
come on, like...
Maverick and Benji are going to be on Gangster Rappers. Maverick, We've seen him play. He's usually in the top 100. I think I've seen Benji, too, in the top 100 as well. And then if you look at Jingle Junkies, you've got Samo there, and It's Rocket. Our analyst, It's Rocket, is going to be playing.
Really?
This is gonna be fun. That's Oh, you know what? No, that's Roarrocket. I think It's Rocket is different than Roarrocket. I hope so.
Well, they are spelled differently, so...
They're definitely spelled differently. Yeah, so I actually saw It's Rocket last night come in, and I think he came into my stream when I was streaming a bit of Armajet last night.
Okay.
And it was pretty fun to see him chatting it up a little bit with me. And I think he stepped into the game for a quick second or two, like 1 or 2 matches. But yeah, these guys definitely up there, the top 100. See them pretty often. And it's going to be... This one I feel like it's more of a toss-up between Gangster Rappers and Jingle Junkies.
Okay. That's definitely going to be really interesting. I do love what we're going to have. I think it's definitely going to be a bit more of an even matchup, so to speak, between these two teams. Yeah, definitely heard of Maverick. Definitely heard of its Rocket. Haven't heard much about Benji though, so I'm definitely interested on how he is going to come out. He's currently in the Tribe roster and actually formerly with Nova Esports, so he has kind of gone from one org to the other, proving himself to be valuable members of each roster that he's been involved on. And then, so Samo is actually the currently Tribe's team captain, that also placed third in the Scorpia Crossfire tournament. So we're kind of getting Tribe against Tribe, so to speak. And It's Rocket is an active streamer and content creator, but also relatively new to the Armajet community. So welcome, my good friend. Absolute pleasure to have you on board, and great to see more streamers and content creators getting involved with the game. Sean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if you mentioned it or if I didn't hear you, but who do you think is gonna come out on top between these two teams?
I think it's a bit of a toss-up. Both these teams being Tribe, both of them banning Longclaw against each other, it pretty much levels the playing field. Like you did mention, we saw Tribe going third place into the Scorpia, finishing the Scorpia Crossfire Armajet tournament that we had last month. And this is interesting because they showed a very strong game the first day of the Scorpia tournament, but then they dropped in the final for them. So here, Maverick, Samo, It's Rocket, we've seen these guys before. We've seen them playing before. I feel like it's still a toss-up, I feel like with these teams, we didn't really, they all performed pretty well overall. There was no individual player who really stood out. If there's anybody who's going to stand out, it's got to be Maverick, who's grinded the most in the game, and he's ranked 94 right now.
Okay.
Compared to Samo, who's 81 and 36 for It's Rocket. So we're going to have more ability for Maverick to have access to better weapons.
Yeah. Okay. So that's going to definitely interesting and spell who,
if he's got his bounties.
That's if he's got his bounties. Indeed, we're just waiting on Benji, then a player, to join, so we can get this show on the road within this moon base. By the way, on a side note, one thing that we actually never talked about on the update is not only can you customize the pilots in terms of how they look, and actually maybe you did mention this, but on the jet stream, you can have different types of I forget what it's called, but the jet stream, it can be like Cash, it can be the Neon kind of cat rainbow type thing. I really love the customization involved.
That kind of thing.
Something like that. Yeah, and it can be like musical notes. I really love that kind of expression of individuality. I know that it's not that many to begin with, but it shows you potentially what they will, increase on, give more available, and allow you to personalize your pilot how you want to, so you are representing your true self out on the Armajet battlefield, which is always important with connecting with the game, I feel, Sean, is if you're able to kind of make it feel a little bit more personal to you, it makes the game a bit more enjoyable as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. If you're able to enjoy the pilot that you're using and the loadouts that you have available, have a cool looking weapon skin, then you're going to be able to keep playing. And that's why I'm continuously playing Armajet, especially with this new update. I now have access to the Anna pilot, put the ghost skin on her, and she looks damn amazing. That's my favorite skin to play as right now. And even though, it doesn't matter, right? Because you're going to still have the same amount of health pool available to you as every other pilot out there. It still just looks cooler to be able to run around the map and blast people when I have a badass skin on.
Hey, nothing better than blasting people with a badass skin on. just goes with the flow. Like, you never saw the Terminator with bad skin. You know what I mean? He looked as absolutely clean cut as can be with the sunglasses, but that was Terminator. We are in to Terminal Velocity. That is a moon-based map in this KEK Yeet tournament. Armajet is the game. Killing people is the... Sorry, Armajet is the name? Killing people is the name of the game. I will get it right some point. But either way, one apiece between these two teams. Gangster Rappers and Jingle Junkies. Gangster Rappers are in the blue. Jingle Junkies are in the red. And we see 3-1 lead already going over to the side of Jingle Junkies. Samo and Roarrocket working pretty well together. But it's down to 3-2, 1 kill apiece in the first 30 seconds. Maverick has picked. Sorry, Samo has now picked up with that double damage, looking to support his Rocket teammate, and gets a kill onto Benji quite nicely from a distance. But Maverick is just hanging around, waiting for his teammate to spawn. Benji picks up the invisibility, but he kind of gets spotted out by Samo. But Maverick takes out its Rocket 6-3. Sorry, 7-3. 4 kills apiece between these two teams in the first minute.
It's a really difficult thing when you get the invis to come at somebody from the bot lane here. Maverick just ended Samo's killing spree because the bot lane as the invis, it's such a constrained point to try to get at somebody if you're trying to sneak up on them Predator style. But right now, yeah, we've got 8-4 right now. Jingle Junkies doing the work, doing what they need to do to stay up there, and they're controlling the mid. They're getting down the double damage. They're getting the most bang out of the buck for picking that thing up earlier. But Gangster Rappers is actually closing the gap here with about 2.5 minutes remaining here in the game. Samo, it's Rocket have got to watch out. They're getting split up.
They are indeed. You gotta give credit to Gangster Rappers. Maybe they just started listening to a little bit of Eminem 8 Mile to really pump themselves up. You only got one shot. Do not miss your goddamn chance to blow, boys and girls. This opportunity comes on once in a lifetime. It is 11-8 in the favor of Jingle Junkies. It's gone up to 12-4. Samo unrelentlessly activating that perk in the very dead center of the map. That gave Jingle Junkies such good map control, increasing their lead to 5 with 1.5 minutes to go. Can Gangster Rappers get back into it?
That was great right there. Not only did we have the double damage, but the invis picked up by Samo right there as well. And he's got the Enforcer and Black Tusk. They can't see him coming. Right there in the bot lane, right in the middle, we had 2 kills going over to Jingle Junkies right there with the Enforcer and with the Black Tusker. They're going for more.
They are. You gotta give credit. Samo and Roarrocket, they just waited because they want to wait for Jingle Junkies for Gangster Rappers to come to them. It's 10-19, 9 kills. Oh, Maverick from behind takes out Samo and ends his killer spree. He now picks up the shield. It's only 7 kills between these two teams. They go straight for the center of the map. Great strategy, but there's no point in being there if you can't pick anything up and you get yourself blown up into smithereens in the process. But with 40, 37, 36, 35 seconds to go, the kill lead is down to about 6. Pretty close, but Gangster Rappers have got to get their act together with the double damage being picked up. Samo's going to get absolutely wiped out. No, he takes down Benji, or should I say it's Rocket, but now it's picked up by Maverick. Let's see if he can get the killing blows onto it. Rocket, yes, he does. 4 kills between these two teams with 10 seconds to go. Austino, it's going to be tight. It's going to be close. It's going to be Gangster Rappers trying to go in hard, but Jingle Junkies are hiding. They are really waiting. They played a long game, and they take that first game by about 4 kills lead.
By a 4-kill lead. That's exactly what they needed to do, ImPERium.
Yes.
They got that big lead with less than a minute left. They had almost a 10-kill lead. I think it was 7 near the end. And they closed the gap a little bit there, Gangster Rappers did. But unfortunately, all that Jingle Junkies had to do was just hide in those last 10 seconds to prevent 10 or 4 kills to go over to the other side. So they played it smart. We saw a lot of Black Tusk play in that matchup. Both teams had them on each side. However, we did see the Thunderstorm come out a little bit, kind of a last-ditch effort by Gangster Rappers to be able to maybe change it up a little bit with the loadout. Unfortunately, things still did not change or go very well for them. So they've got themselves on the back foot right now. They're being pushed into a corner, and Jingle Junkies, all they have to do is just win this game. Unfortunately for Gangster Rappers, they've got to win themselves 2 games now, take it to game 3, and to win this series.
Yeah, hey, look, Gangster Rappers, like you correctly pointed out, at one point they were about 10 kills behind. Austino, they decrease it to a very close level, like I said, ended 4 kills behind. That does take a lot. Maybe if they had another 30 seconds, they could have, made it even closer to even Stevens between the two teams. So it kind of shows you that there is that potential there. But we're in a new map, Austino. Same bands, but new map. Magma, and with Longclaw band on both sides. Which team is going to kind of have an advantage? What do you see in terms of the loadouts for now that Gangster Rappers have on their side?
Okay, well, if they're going to stick to the loadouts that they have right now in skirmish mode, we've got the Thunderstorm there again. It looks like we do have a Black Tusk, but there's 2 Black Tusks available for Jingle Junkies right now. And I think that's actually the smart move since the Longclaw is actually banned. I don't know if these teams have access to another sniper type weapon, so they're going to have to get in each other's faces. But if you're coming in with the Thunderstorm versus a Black Tusk, it's not the best move. You've got to be able to move around them to flank from a really good position and have them not expected. Like we talked about before, 2v2, there's a lot more landscape for you to be able to navigate this map and not be spotted out. But at the same time, you have a shorter distance that you've got to close to a short distance to be able to use that Thunderstorm to be effective and to be able to take people out. So 2 Black Tusks hitting you is just going to cut you down really, really fast.
Well, let's see how that does play out then, and who's going to come out on top, because we are going to get into this second game in a matter of seconds. Fight! Once again, we do have Gangster Rappers on the blue and Jingle Junkies on the right-hand side. It's Rocket being put under a little bit of pressure, but Samo from behind. Benji gets sandwiched like a well-placed peanut butter and jelly sandwich. First kill over to Jingle Junkies, but it's a little bit slower pace. They're trying to take it a little bit easy. It's a good shout coming out from Gangster Rappers. I think they should be a little bit more calculated, and they take the lead 2-0 with the double damage and invisibility about to spawn in the next 15 seconds or so. They take the lead 3-1, 4-1. Gangster Rappers.
I am so surprised right now. Yeah, Gangster Rappers. We saw 2 kills with the Thunderstorm actually going over to Benji there, and they're cleaning things up at the moment with the Black Tusk as well. The Enforcer and Thunderstorm combo is taking it for them and getting them the kills that they need to do. We're only 1 minute into the game right now. We do see It's Rocket actually pick up the double damage. So what we could see Gangster Rappers actually do right now is just play the waiting game. If that double damage actually has run out. So once it's run out, they can actually go in and get some more kills on there. They traded back and forth. Things are closing the gap right now, 7-6 right now between the two teams, with Gangster Rappers with a 1-kill lead.
Yeah, Benji tended to go a little bit too aggressive and got away from his Maverick teammate, and that's what led to that kind of double 2-1 trade-off between these two teams. Now, they've got to be careful. Stick with your team, Maverick! Yes, Benji, you cannot be left alone like that. It leads too much to a 2v1 situation. Maverick does get the lovely trade-off, does pick up the healing, and he gets the second kill on the hit Rocket. Maverick being the Maverick for his team, leading that to kill up to 2 kills between the two teams, but they've got to play it easy. Benji, I feel like he's been a little bit too aggressive compared to his Maverick teammate, but with that lovely trade-off, they do increase it to 4 kills. And now Maverick on that front line takes out Samo. It's Rocket. 5 kills between these two teams with the shield. And absolute fantastic play. Benji picks up that double damage. And he's on a goddamn killing spree, Sean Austino.
That is the crazy thing about having the invis. You don't necessarily know from the enemy team's perspective who has the double damage, and you could deduce it. But dude, the double damage with the thunderstorm is a force to be reckoned with. You've got to be really careful there. Double damage is gone for the moment, so we're going to have to wait until it respawns. But the thunderstorm and enforcer combo is just something that has not that hasn't. We haven't seen it played very well, and this is the first time we've seen Benji busted out, and it's made an impact in this game 2 of the series so far. So if they can continue to maintain the 6-kill lead right now, they could take this to a game 3 in the series. And backing off and getting himself a kill is exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, even if they kind of trade to Devon, you know, not so quickly, they're still going to end this second game on top. They still got to take it easy. And there's a separation coming out from Jingle Junkies. So now it's going back up to 6 kills. Samo's on his own. He's about to get sandwiched. And he gets his killing spree. And Samo gets absolutely knocked out for 6. It's Rocket and Samo. They do not have an answer. It's like they're too coked up on those Jingle Junkie drugs to get back into this game with 10 seconds to go. It's 21-16 in the favor of Gangster Rappers. We are going to see another game 3 happening between two teams in this KEK Armajet tournament. Sean Austino, nice and spicy, nice and eggnoggy. It's going to be a third game.
You might as well throw some Kahlua, some kind of liquor in there with that eggnog, because it is a great match, a great series that we're having between Gangster Rappers and Jungle Junkies. Jungle Junkies? Jingle Junkies at the moment.
Jingle. Man.
Are we going to Temple? Is that what I'm thinking right now? Yeah. But Benji busting it out with the Thunderstorm, my boy. I'm so proud of him. That guy, that's a combo I use there. But he made it effective, and I actually want to point out that their positioning around the map in the different lanes was actually really smart, because they had one of the Jingle Junkies actually cornered on the left bot side lane, and they were able to just use both lanes to pin him in there into that spot, pinning him in using both the using their range to their advantage, getting in there with the Black Tusk and the AoE effect that we have with the Thunderstorm. Very, very smart move. Backing off when they needed to shows the positioning and strategy that Gangster Rappers needs to take with them into Game 3 to be able to take this series away from Jingle Junkies.
Well, they have every chance of getting the job done. I'm really taking it to Jingle Junkies. We said this was going to be a close game, Sean. It kind of can't get too much closer than it is right now going into this third game. You were correct. It is going to be Temple. So that is where the jungle came from when you did say Jungle Junkies. We're going to see the junkies in the jungle jingling all the way, making those rappers all over the place, hoping to rap their way into the next stage of this KEK tournament. If they can get the better of those Jingle Junkies players. Man, based on the loadouts that we're kind of seeing initially, Sean, and the fact that the map, the Longclaw is banned on both sides, which is definitely very interesting in this open space map. But yeah, what are the loadouts looking like?
Well, from what I can see right now, I'm not in the game, but I'm looking at the stream at the moment. It looks like we've got some Black Tusk. We do have the Thunderstorm in there again for Benji. So it looks like the Black Tusk is the comfort weapon for the remaining pilots on the map. And it's the best thing to probably use here, because you do have the high rate of fire with it. You've got a lot of distance to cover between you and the enemies that are coming at you, and if you're able to fend them off with the Black Tusk when they're coming at you from the other side of the map, that's probably the best thing to do.
Definitely, it's going to be really interesting. We're just waiting for these 4 players to ready up, and we will bring you this third game. If you have just joined or you are just tuning in, welcome to the KEK Armajet tournament hosted by the ever lovely and wonderful TP. My name is ImPERium, casting alongside the wonderful Sean Austino. We do also have Analysts and Extra Hype coming out from the likes of BigKingL, Roarrocket, and KillerPenguin. You will hear their lovely voices at some stage if you do stick around. But this is the game between Gangster Rappers and Jingle Junkies. It is a best of 3 series, and this is the third game. Like I said, it can't get too much too much than this between the two teams. Both of them pulling out absolutely fantastic performances in their respective games. Definitely think Gangster Rappers surprised us both in that last game on the Magma map. How far of a lead they took, Sean?
Oh yeah, it was a pretty big lead too, and it was almost from within the first minute. They had a small lead, and it continued to grow and progress through the game. It's Benji, man, just him doing what he needed to do, positioning well. They controlled the mid power ups, the invisibility, and the double damage to a certain extent, but they kind of juggled it around too. When one team member dropped it, they were able to pick it up. They were even able to kill some of the enemies that did pick it up and just take it for themselves. So I think that was a pretty wise move to be able to do that. But if Benji continues to play his Enforcer and Thunderstorm combo to the extent that he was playing it in the previous match, we're going to see him being unmatched out there. It's all about positioning. It's this Thunderstorm, if you're in the middle of the map, it's a kind of difficult thing to play it. But if you're on the edges, there's a lot of cramped spaces there that the Thunderstorm can take advantage of. And using that Enforcer Thunderstrike combo to either initiate with the Enforcer or to finish someone off with the Enforcer after you've gotten some damage on them is probably the best thing for Benji to do.
Well, let's see if we can really pull out, because we are getting into this third game between these two teams. We are going to see how they do start off. And it is, of course, Jingle Junkies in the red and Gangster Rappers in the blue. So we do see that Jingle Junkies occupied left-hand side. But we do see Benji now going forward. Maverick far behind him. Samo gets caught out. And it's Rocket also gets caught out. Maverick with that double kill. 2-0 lead already going over, but they are not finished yet because they advance forward onto Jingle Junkies once more. But Samo knocks out Maverick. Benji jumping across onto that platform, waiting for his Maverick teammate to respawn. Benji picks up the double damage, and it is going to be followed up. Samo gets a double kill. 3 kills each in the first 45 seconds. Both teams very much respecting each other, but Samo's on the kill spree with that invisibility and that double damage, taking out Benji. Not what Gangster Rappers were really looking for when they picked up the invisibility, but it was a great shot that came out from Samo. Nonetheless, as Benji Maverick, gotta give credit, Gangster Rappers are sticking both teams are actually sticking very close to each other, Sean Austino.
Yeah, they sure are. 3 minutes remaining in the match. We've got 3 and 4 right now, as far as I can see, for Gangster Rappers and Jingle Junkies. Have we been saying Jungle Junkies still? We're still waiting on both the power-ups in the mid to respawn. And that's the thing about that's the thing that we got here. It's pretty difficult to be able to get both the power-ups very, very easily.
Yeah. And also not just to get them, but to kind of successfully take advantage of them, because sometimes it can be kind of like, not that you work so hard to get them, but you kind of sacrifice so much to secure it, and then you kind of get wiped out as quickly as you have it, if that makes sense. That's something that the teams have really got to be careful of and kind of try to calculate for, that when they are picking it up, that they're in some way kind of as healthy as possible. Typical example, Benji got the double damage. Samo took him out because Benji was low on health, but however, Maverick does pick it up and he takes out Samo while Samo takes out Benji. 2 kills over in the favor of Gangster Rappers with 1.5 minutes to go. Let's see what is going to happen, because this series is so damn close. Both teams deserve a lot of respect. They are working hard, but Gangster Rappers are binding Jingle Junkies tightly into their net, should I say, being 4 kills ahead with 1 minute and 10 to go. They are hovering over around that mid area while that perk as Maverick is on a rampage. Such clever play coming out from Gangster Rappers, Sean.
Yeah, it sure is, and they're
okay.
maintaining that lead right there. It's from what I can see, it's 13-9 at the moment, and the positioning is just so smart. They've got that sentry down there, and using Mavericks on a rampage. From what I can see, is just freaking insane, man.
Man,
yeah.
It's 16-11. I thought you were in the party. My humble apologies.
No.
I didn't even realize.
I didn't get invited.
Oh, feels sad, man. 70-12. 30 seconds to go. 5 kills in the favor of Gangster Rappers. They've consistently controlled this game. However, Samo coming out with the clutch double kill. He's picked up the double damage. What are Jingle Junkies gonna do to try and get back into this game? Because it's 17-12 with 15 seconds to go. Can we be taken over to sudden death? Let's see what it's Rocket can do. But he's back to be sandwiched with 9 seconds to go. It is a trade-off. It's Rocket gets taken out by Benji. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gangster Rappers secure their round. They secure the series 2-1, and they secure their advancement into this KEK Yeetournament. Phew! That was damn close, Sean.
That's exactly what needed to happen. From what I could tell, it looks like they maintained a small lead throughout the entire Game 3. Gangster Rappers, and this is what's interesting, is that they traded off this time. This time, Maverick was doing the majority of the work, carrying Gangster Rappers throughout the game, and Benji was just there as a continual threat, as that Thunderstorm carrier, that Thunderstorm specialist guy, just getting those assists. He got 4 assists right there, and Maverick was able to finish him off, get himself 12 kills. Well done to him.
Man, that was so close. Oh, just congratulations to both teams. Unfortunate commiserations to Jingle Junkies, but man, we got a third game series. We got such close gameplay from these two teams. Absolute complete respect to them. Really, really well done to Gangster Rappers pushing. They went 1 game down as well, Sean, and they kind of turned it around by getting the last 2 games. That takes a lot of strength, if that makes sense. That takes a lot of kind of motivation. They pulled it out of the bag.
Yeah, they sure did, and that's exactly what they needed to do. They changed their gameplay, they changed their loadouts, and using that Thunderstorm to the full effect is exactly what they needed to do. And this is interesting too, because these are both tribe teams, and
yes,
they play together. Clearly, they know each other's strengths and weaknesses. So being able to choose the correct loadout, being able to, if you looked at it, the Black Tusk, even though it trades better into the Thunderstorm's positioning is what's really important about it. And if you as the pilot are able to position really well during these 2v2 confrontations, you're going to be able to come out on top.
Yeah, it will indeed. But we have one more game for you guys. It's going to be a doozy. It's going to be close because we have Team Christmas. By the way, Team Christmas, can you get any more Christmassy than that? Literally straight to the point, Team Christmas. It's like they're kind of going, no, we're not going to be pun about it. We're just going to say that as it goddamn is. Team Christmas, made up of LCF and Devoted, against Big Candy Kane. Big Candy Kane has Noxus 1 and the hypest man in the hype world of the hype universe, KillerPenguins. last minute addition due to the NA player had to pull out last night. He was happy to fill in. He is a knight in shining armor to the rescue, Sean.
Yeah, he sure is. And if the hype that he demonstrates during the introduction to the tournament, if his hype matches his gameplay, we're gonna see some awesomeness here on the KEK tournament. And I've actually seen the guy perform during some of his streams, and he's no slouch. This guy's someone to watch out for.
Well, hey, look, but then again, they're going up against a tough team, Sean. They're going up against Team Christmas. That's made up of Elsief. That's the current Hammers roster and the team manager. They placed first in the Scorpions Crossfire tournament, and also Devoted. That's currently on the Hammers roster. So these are two players that know their stuff, and they play together. We saw throughout the Scorpio tournament, if you remember, the Hammers roster, they rotated so much in those games that you saw the depth of we saw the absolute depth of play in their team when we saw the consistent roster changes. So Team Christmas, they're going to be absolutely bringing it down onto Big Candy Kane. That team, it's going to be hard, but I want absolute maximum hype because the first map we are going to have in this series is going to be Canyon, Sean Austino.
Yeah, it looks like it to me, and I'm wondering if I'm going to be getting an invite to this game because
I can give you a code, man.
I need to get invited. So if you're in there, you have to like go into like the invite friends. And
Can I invite you?
Okay, let's see.
I don't know if I can invite you.
You have to. Somebody's got to invite me. Let's see if I can just. Because I need the code too.
Invite Sean.
Let's see. Joining. I failed to connect.
Daddy Kappa.
I need a code as well.
Okay, so the code is. Oh, you have the code?
No, I don't.
LOL, someone invite this man, KEK. Someone invite him, stat. We need 25 cc's of invitations, stat.
I see that I got an invite, but I don't have the code. So I need both.
Oh, so you don't have the code?
I don't have the code.
Oh my God.
Correct.
Oh my God.
Put it in the Discord, my good man.
No, I'm doing it, baby. I'm doing it just for you.
Sweet Christmas.
Too late, Delash. Too late. You need to get on my level of speed and quickness, my dear sir. But thank you very much.
I'm in.
You are in indeed. So, a little bit more information for you guys. The two weapons that have been banned, just to add a little bit of spiciness, both teams have banned Black Tusk from each other. What the hell does that say, Sean?
That is going to be so interesting. So, because the Black Tusks are banned, that obviously leaves sniping a lot more open. This is a good map for... See, it's kind of a good map for sniping in a way, and it's kind of not. So what makes it not good for sniping is there's a weird formation, that fist that's in the middle of the map, right? So if you're on one side, it makes it easier to snipe. If you're on another side, it's a lot more limited. If you're on the west side, there's a lot more limit to sniping in there. But it's a lot more open from the right side, from the east side of the map. So you can have a better sniping position from over there, I feel. Now, at the same time, Black Tusks are banned. We're going to have more interesting weapons and more variety of weapons that are used, that some of them are going to be extremely short range. Some of them are going to have really slow rate of fire, like the Badger, the Tremor. We're going to be able to have the Long Claw used a lot as well to snipe people out. So we're going to see what these pilots, both these teams pull out for the loadouts. And I can already see we've got ourselves into the game.
We have indeed. We are 10 seconds in. Noxus with that flame Thrower getting the first blood for his team, but now the grenades are going to Killer Penguin for his team, looking to get the job done on the Devoted, but LCM is going to sandwich him, so it's going up 2-1 in the favor of Team Christmas. Santa Claus is coming to the Canyon map to fist you 3 ways, boys and girls, as it's going to go 4-2 in the favor of Team Christmas. You got to give credit to Big Candy Cane. They are definitely far from down and out of it in the first 45 seconds. Sean, this map is definitely making it a little bit more even. That flamethrower is proven to be very effective for Big Candy Cane. It's spreading a lot of AoE damage that does make it a little bit harder for Team Christmas to get around.
It does. It's very difficult because the AoE damage sticks to the position on the ground that you're using it at. However, Killer Penguin has got to come out and he's got to be able to show up and do some more damage output here. He's got to get himself some kills. So despite having 5 kills right now for Big Candy Cane, they're still behind by 1 kill here with and now it's 2 kills actually for Ilsef and Devoted over there for Team Christmas.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, look, at the end of the day, Big Candy Cane, Killer Penguin, he's doing some kind of work. He's definitely got to be careful. I don't quite like his loadout. His loadout feels really awkward to the matchup and to the map, because it's what I feel is that it's very hard to really get the right target with those grenades, especially with the map being full of crevices. It can hit off bits of the canyon that you don't want it to, that kind of thing. It just makes it very hard. However, Noxus is doing a lot of work, doing everything he can to keep his team into it, because he's on 7 kills out of the 9 that Big Candy Cane have got. And Team Christmas, they're only 2 kills ahead, 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go in this close-knit game. Every single trade that Team Christmas do, it seems like Big Candy Cane are following up quite nicely, but double damage is over to Elsif. However, he's got very forward, a little bit too forward for his own good. Devoted has picked up double damage, but it has ended, and he actually got himself flame thrower to death in the process, and now it's still 14-12. 2 kills cannot be pushed forward, further away or closer between these two teams. So damn tight, Sean.
So this is an interesting thing about the wildfire, the flamethrower, because you're able to throw down AoE damage onto the ground wherever it lands. You're actually able to control the mid, control the power up for the double damage without being there. And it does last for quite a while.
Oh.
However, on the enemy pilots, you're not able to do the same kind of damage output. You've got to be continuously flamethrowering them with the wildfire for quite a long time to be able to take them out. And it looks like we have 18-14 right now, 19 now, and Team Christmas is pulling away with 5 kills in the lead.
Yeah, just a little bit Killer Penguin getting a little bit out of his depth. LCF has his perk, and it's taking the hell out of Noxus left, right, center. However, Noxus does well, but gets shot out from behind by LCF, who has picked up the double damage. Killer Penguin, what are you doing? Running into your own death. 1 second ago. The round is over, and it's 24-18. It was so close for so long, Sean, but Team Christmas did enough to keep themselves ahead of the game and ahead of Big Candy Cane, and they take this series 1-2-0.
Well, who needs a Big Candy Cane when you've got a Christmas tree in the house? And I love what L7 and Devoted did. They kept the game really close within 3 or so kills, and they just kept trading back and forth, keeping the trades even until at the very end they were able to get themselves that perk, throw down that rocket sentry that was there, and they maintained better control of the mid that way. The wildfire, it doesn't see, even though Noxus was using it to control that mid lane, control the power up effectively, I feel like he wasn't as effective with getting kills with it. Despite him getting 12 kills, he had 14 deaths. He was getting focused down so intensely by Team Christmas.
Yeah, he was indeed. And look, Killer Penguin, he has all the hype in the world, But when it comes to being in the game, it's like the hype goes a little bit out the window, or it can't quite be matched on the battlefield. But at the end of the day, he was still in there. He was helping Noxus in some way, shape, or form. It was better than being in a 2v1 situation. I can tell you that for sure. But do you think this Magma map could help or hinder Killer Penguin?
You know, that's a really good point. I feel like we're just going to have to see how he plays here. I feel like he was a little subdued in his gameplay last match, so he needs to step it up. He needs to be able to play a little bit more aggressively. I feel like Noxus was playing pretty well, but because he was out there on the front line with that wildfire, having to not only try to kill, but also putting down that AoE damage to control the areas that were of interest, he was getting focused down over and over again. So if we look at Team Christmas, what their win condition is, all they have to do is to shut down Big Candy Cane, is to shut down Noxus at the moment. Killer Penguin, he came in here as a sub. He wasn't expected to play with Big Candy Cane, so they're already at a little bit of a disadvantage having a sub. But in this case, if Big Candy Cane wants to pull out the win, they're going to have to control the mid like usual, position correctly. Killer Penguin's going to get more aggressive, and controlling the mid, all they have to do is control those 2 power-ups right there. Control that invis and control that double damage in the mid lane right there.
Well, it's easy to break down a candy cane. You just snap it in half. That's what Team Christmas did in that first game. They kind of snapped that candy cane in half and left Killer Penguin on his own, away from Noxus in more ways than one, so to speak. But this is new map, a new opportunity. Same weapon bands, which is the Black Tusks. Devoted has got his sniper, so that's definitely going to play into the favor of this Magma map. And Elsief, it seems like, is going to be on the front line with his loadout. Pretty balanced loadouts, it seems, coming out from Team Christmas, Sean.
Yeah, I like the long claw, like you mentioned, the having Devoted able to snipe from a distance, and we actually see Elsief changing it up a little bit and going for this thunderstorm here. So he's going to be able to get some good AoE damage down, not necessarily leaving anything behind like the wildfire, but if he's able to get within a close distance, chase some of those enemies down, then he could really get him with that thunderstorm.
Well, can we see another upset? Can we see another Game 3 series between these two teams? Only time will tell. Noxus is sticking to his wildfire gun, which
so does Elsa.
Is pretty good on this Magma map. And there you go. A 2-0 lead already. Big Candy Cane. Noxus is using that weapon to zone out Elsief, which gives Killer Penguin a bit more freedom, a bit more safety, but Elsief goes from behind and takes out Noxus. However, Killer Penguin did take out Elsief, where credit is due. 3-2, just about in the favor of Big Candy Cane. It's so close, you gotta give him credit. In this map, it's working pretty well, but Noxus has actually changed his loadout. Do you think that's because Elsief also had the wildfire?
Well, Noxus,
or no, he's actually switched up now.
Yeah. We did see. Yeah, he's actually. What am I looking at? They've both got wildfires on each team right now.
Yes, they do.
And it's apparently very good on this map. I don't have the wildfire myself, so I can't put it to use. But it's interesting because some of these platforms are very, very narrow, and especially in the mid, they're where you want to go. It's very open, so you can use the wildfire from a different angle and throw down some of that flame onto the lanes.
Yeah, but Noxus has actually changed his loadout to the sniper, which could actually be a good idea. However, he's still got to be careful because Elsief has still got that wildfire. Killer Penguin going in the middle of those flames, trying to jump away. He loses his life. I fell into a burning ring of fire, and it's 9-6 in the favor of Team Christmas with 2 minutes left. Gotta give credit to Big Candy Cane once again, because they are keeping that lead or the deficit to a very low level within 3, but they've just got to edge a bit more out of themselves to get the better of Team Christmas, but Devoted has that perk, but it's right by the double damage, which Devoted has picked it up. Boom! All she wrote is Noxus takes down Elsief and Devoted takes out KillerPenguin. Noxus has the invisibility and he absolutely snipes the hell out of Devoted, unlocks that double damage, but Elsief picks it up. And once again, Noxus snipes the absolute hell out of Elsief, but Devoted returned fire just like that 1.5 minutes ago. Like I said, Big Candy Cane are keeping it generally very close, within 4 kills at this stage of the game.
That machine gun sentry being put down right at the double damage in the mid lane was so smart because it got the most bang out of its buck. It was able to take down at least one member of the enemy team. Devoted putting that down was a really good idea. They're 4 kills ahead right now with 1 minute. 5 kills up, and yeah, it's getting pretty dicey out there, but it looks like Team Christmas has the advantage.
Oh man, Noxus just got a little bit too big for his boots, tried to go in very hard and aggressive, feeling like he has nothing to lose at this stage of the game, leaving KillerPenguin on his own. KillerPenguin took out Elsief, but Elsief followed it up with that trade-off. 19-13, 19-14, can KillerPenguin and Noxus try and claw it back, but KillerPenguin jumping over into the ridge, trying to take himself away from Devoted. He gets a kill onto him, swaps that down to 5 kills. 20 seconds ago, Noxus had picked up that double damage. Can he make it count in the next 15 seconds? KillerPenguin going to be left on his own against Elsief. Oh, with the invisibility! He takes it down 9 seconds ago. 3 kills left. Oh, can they do it? Within 2, 5, 4, come on! No, so close yet so far. And Team Christmas take that second round, but by God, did Big Candy Cane make it close.
They sure did make it close. And actually, Team Christmas did the wise thing right there. So we talked about what they did with the Devoted throwing down the sentry at the double damage. But also, in the last few seconds, it was there was 30 seconds left, and they had to get 6 kills for Big Candy Cane. There was no way they were going to get that, obviously. That's such a difficult feat to get 2 kills every 10 seconds. But not only that, but the last few seconds, the last 10 seconds, Team Christmas did not respawn. You don't have to respawn right away. They chose not to. That left Big Candy Cane to be running around the map. They were not able to find anybody over there because they had not come back yet.
Somebody just pointed out that KillerPenguin was 6-9. That's the best kind of KD to have if you ask me. But I want to straight out turn around and name Noxus won the MVP of today's games. I'm sorry, but when you consider who they were against, nothing against KillerPenguin, played the best he could, but there's an obvious skill disadvantage there, and for Noxus to carry so hard and to really make us so close, definitely the MVP of the evening in my eyes. I don't know if you would agree. Before I pass it over to our analysis, who do you think is your MVP of today's games?
You know, it's hard to say. I definitely want to say that the biggest blowout we had was actually Armajet. Just having such access to crazy weapons that nobody else has right now.
Ban Kima.
But ban Kima, nerf Kima. But that actually gives us something to look forward to here in the Armajet community, to be able to fill up on weapons like that, which is pretty damn cool, I must say. Indeed. Yeah, the game that I thought was the standout games actually were like the game 3s. I really enjoyed.
I know, right?
Houdini and Seeker from Jingle Ladies going up against Team Star with Archer and Rate. And to have the underdog Archer and Rate actually perform so well, I want to say that Archer was probably my standout player for the day.
There you go. That's actually, yeah. I don't disagree, but I don't agree. As I said, I'm going for Noxus 1, but definitely very close behind was Archer. But on that note, going to pass it over to Roarrocket and BigKingL to summarize the final analysis before we close this stream out.
Thanks, guys. First, just pointing out, our underdog did win, so me and Big got some pretty good predictions today. We're gonna go back a sec just to the Samu, it's Rocket, and
Benji
that
Maverick.
game. Yeah, Benji Maverick game. So that game was like very, very even throughout the whole series. This one is actually where we thought that servers took a big important task because for those of you who don't know, we play EU, NA, EU on all maps, on all series today. And I found that this was the one where you could actually tell where the EU players and the NA players kind of shined.
Yeah, I mean, I think after that first game, both Samu and Rocket were in very good positions, and they had the momentum that they needed. But the fact that Benji is an NA player, and the fact that he is so incredibly good at Armajet in general, he completely took control over that second game specifically, and outplayed Rocket immensely. And due to the servers, I think that really gave them the edge on NA, and actually kept them from getting 2-0'd. And as a result, they came to game 3. It was a back and forth, but in the end, Maverick and Benji ended up pulling it out.
Well, yeah, we saw that he pulled out the Thunderstorm on NA, Benji, and we saw that because Rocket just couldn't keep up, he rolled him over with a Thunderstorm, which generally against the Black Tusk does not do so well. But because of how skilled he is on NA and Rockets just couldn't keep up, the Thunderstorm worked out well for him.
Yeah, and that third game in general, even after the game 2, it was an incredible back and forth. But I personally think that it was Samu and Rocket that weren't sticking together, and that inevitably lost the game and lost them the series.
Well, yeah, we watched at the end. Me and you were both talking. We're like, wow, this could be a comeback. Sammy got double damage, down by 3, 30 seconds left, and then they got a kill and they just split up. He dropped his turret in like the worst possible spot away from the action. Rockets went into a 1v2, and that's the game. The game's over right there. If they had stuck together, they might have had a shot at that tie at least.
Yeah, I mean that series I think was one of the best series of the day, honestly. But going into this second series, Elsa Devoted versus Noxus and KillerPenguins, in game 1 specifically, there were a lot of really positive trades from both sides, but that game 1 was essentially Elsif and Devoted just edging them out a good bit, and they ended up taking control of the game altogether.
Yeah, we saw KillerPenguins with the Badger, and because Elsif and Devoted had the Longclaw Phantom combination, the Badger just couldn't get close. But on the other side, Noxus used the Wildfire very effectively to get AoE on 2 long-range weapons when he got close. And although he died a lot, he got lucky a bunch of times, and the burn actually ended up getting him double kills, keeping them into that game.
Yeah, and it was Noxus that essentially kept them afloat that entire series, because there were some very key mistakes on specifically the Devoted's part, but also part of Elsa as well, and they were missing some very important, very key shots, and Noxus was actually doing an amazing job capitalizing on those mistakes, and although they didn't win Noxus and KillerPenguins, I think that they definitely held their ground, and they definitely played a very good series.
Especially since we considered Elsif and Devoted our top dog today.
Yeah, I mean, to have our own personal choice, I guess you could say, not perform like we know they can and everybody else know they can. I'm hoping that, well, I'm not just hoping, but I'm very certain that they are still going to go through and they're still going to honestly win the KEK Yeetournament.
One thing that was really impressive though in game 2, if people watch, was they actually had the most effective double D. Like they got it the most effectively. Dev dropped his sentry right on top 5 seconds before it spawned. Elsif went top on Magma, controlled that entire lane, and Elsif allowed Devoted, because he's on the sniper with the one-shot kill with double, to get the double damage when he clearly could have picked it up, which was very impressive.
Oh yeah, 100%. That double damage control was honestly what was keeping them from almost getting broken apart as a team. And I think that kind of comes back to the both of them being arguably the best players in their regions and knowing more than just about anybody else in the entire Armajet community.
Yeah, overall, I'm impressed with what Noxus did. However, if today is an off day for Elsif and Devoted, who knows what tomorrow will bring for the rest of the competition.
Very much so, and that's pretty much everything for us. And we are going to pass it back to our host, KillerPenguins.
Yo! There we go. Oh my gosh, I pulled a TP. Pulled a TP with my mic muted. Rip. Yo, Big King Rockets, thank you so much for coming in with your analysis of this tournament today. TP, thank you for hosting. And then we got ImPERium and Sean. You guys are freaking awesome. Coming in with that shoutcasting, throwing up that Christmas spirit up in the stream. So there you guys go. We got Nightfall versus Frosty coming in tomorrow. Team Star versus Candy Claus. And Gangster Rappers versus Team Christmas coming in tomorrow. Coming down to the finals. We just want to say thank you all for coming out. Hope you enjoyed this KEK tournament on today's Saturday. Coming through. Until next time, yo, I'm your host, KilllerPenguins. Until next time. Woo! Boom! Out!
Greetings, pilots. We know you want to show off your dogfighting skills in style, and ultimately each and every Armajet pilot deserves to stand out during their quest for Doomslayer kill streaks. To make sure you understand all the incredible pilot, flight suit, and jet trail options that go with your collection of unique weapon mods, let's take a deep dive into the all-new Armory V2. You'll notice that weapon loadout selection has been refined to give you an overview about each weapon's mod progression. Your unlocked weapon arsenal is also available on the right and remembers your last weapon mod selection. Preview your armory as you scroll and equip weapons to your selected loadout. By popular demand, the ability to zoom into each primary, secondary, and ultimate and rotate it in 360 degrees is now available. This is perfect for all Armajet content creators wanting to show off their newest unlocks in weapon highlight videos. Now to the fun part, pilot customization. We're happy to introduce Kruger and Anna, the humanoids, and 1337, the deadly AI, as your standard available pilot selections. Of course, each of these three pilots have their own unique unlockable flight suits, and each flight suit has a variety of unlockable pilot skins, making their appearance in the arena truly one of a kind. Furthermore, a selection of distinct jet trails finish off the look of your pilot. From jetpack money trails, to rainbows, and even music notes to help serenade the sad tears of your enemies. All of these options plus your weapon mods give you the ability to stand out after a firefight. Stay tuned for even more pilot customizations coming soon from Super Bit Machine.